why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. To make your
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We've got a lot to talk about on the program today. Oh, man.
3782 855 FLA 3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe.
1-855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now.
All righty. Welcome, everyone. Yes. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, The Steve Kane Show. That's right. Welcome. We have so much to talk about today. How'd you like that Trump rally Saturday night? Oh, man. That was a great rally. Kari Lake was there. Mike Lindell was there. Our great president was there. It was just a great rally. We'll talk about that. And there was a bit of controversy that came out of the rally, which we'll talk about as well as the show goes on. And the left, the mainstream media, the uniparty. You know, Kari Lake, who's running for governor of Arizona, she came up with this great term I like, uniparty. That's the Republican establishment and the Democrat establishment. There are not two parties. She calls it the uniparty. I love it. And the uniparty are trying to set up MAGA. So we're going to talk about that as well. There's so much going on. Let me tell you, there is so much going on. Someone in the chat says, why do you support Trump when he endorsed Dr. Oz? I will always support Donald Trump. And you know what? You guys will too. The uniparty Republican establishment forces are at work. We're going to get to that in a bit. But I was reading this morning, early on. I woke up really early this morning because I had some things to do. And early in the morning, I had to record actually this promo for our appearance on Steve Kane and I are making our first public appearance in over 2 years at the Festival Marketplace at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop Saturday from 11 to 12. And I'd forgotten to record the promo over the weekend, and I had to do it this morning before the show so I could play it on the air this morning. And I woke up early so that my voice would be awake. You know how you sound when you wake up. I needed my voice awake to record the promo, so I got it really early. And for some reason, the first thing I did today when I started going through the news is I went to the New York Post, and there was a great article there from Miranda Devine. You guys know Miranda Devine? I love Miranda. Miranda Devine is the author. Is it author or authoress? Do you use the authoress? I don't know. She is the author of Laptop from Hell, which is the must-read book of the year. I have the book on audio books. If you have Audible, get the audio book. I downloaded the Kindle written edition, and I started reading. It was very good, but I had to take a long drive, so I said, well, you know what, let me get the audio book. So I got the audio book, and it's just compelling to listen to and frightening at the same time. So Miranda Devine is the leading, think about this, she is the leading expert on the corruption of the Biden family because she has researched more than anyone else the laptop. And she has a column in the New York Post I want to start with today. The Biden family scheme unravels. And here's the article. If the grand jury in Delaware investigating Hunter Biden's business ventures does its job properly, it will be pulling on the threads that lead to the president. That's Biden. And already there are signs that it is happening. Listen, this is Miranda Devine, New York Post this morning. Regardless of the extraordinary statement last week by White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain, this guy's a real piece of work. He's probably, the White House Chief of Staff is probably running the country because Joe is so checked out. That the president is confident his son has done nothing wrong. This is what the Chief of Staff said. And that the inquiry has nothing to do with Joe Biden or anyone else in the White House, Publicly available evidence says otherwise, writes Miranda Devine. It's not just the emails and other material on Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop which point to Joe Biden's involvement in his family's multi-million-dollar global influence peddling schemes when he was vice president. Got to take a breath after that. But Joe Biden's done so many crimes, you just read a brief descriptor of it, you're out of breath. There is also the 6-hour interview Hunter's former business partner, Tony Bobulinski, gave to the FBI last year, along with a trove of documents, emails, and encrypted messages. Bobulinski has publicly named Joe Biden as the big guy referenced in Hunter's emails, whose 10% equity in a joint venture with Chinese energy company CEFC was held for him by Hunter. Now the identity of the big guy has become a topic for the Delaware probe. This is where we're going to get them, people, on their crimes. At least one of the witnesses before the grand jury in Delaware has been asked, who is the big guy? Sources familiar with the investigation say Bobulinski is yet to appear, but if he does not testify before the grand jury, something is very wrong, writes Miranda Devine. Perhaps the U.S. attorney is saving the best for last. I would imagine so. The pressure on the U.S. attorney is immense as the 4-year investigation into Biden's son and his business partners, including Joe's brother James, and his younger brother as well. James is as dirty as Hunter. You know, he's got two money mules, Joe Biden. Hunter and his younger brother James. Alarm bells are starting to ring in Democrat circles as the White House stonewalls in the face of increasing media inquiries. In 2 absurd statements, White House spokespeople said the president stands by his pre-election statement that Hunter Biden never received any money from China. And he continues to deny that he knew anything about his son's overseas business dealings. Yeah. And it goes into the details. So this is really getting exposed right now. So what's going to happen is Hunter's going to get indicted, and you know what? Joe's brother may be indicted too, James, but everyone's agreeing that Hunter is going to be indicted. And what's going to happen when that happens is his dad at some point is going to pardon him. I mean, let's face it. He's going to pardon him at some point. We all expect that. But there is going to become so much division in this election year among the Democrats, it's going to destroy the party from within. Because what is going to happen is, Joe's got 2 problems. The crimes, right? The pardoning of his son, and the cognitive problems that he has. And what's going to happen is they don't want him to run for re-election. He's checked out. He's corrupt. He pardoned his son. Too much scandal. They don't want Joe to run for re-election. They want someone else, and they want to pass over Kamala. And they really don't have a clear person to plug in there and say, let's do this. Right? There's a lot of divisions. You know, Mayor Pete's running for president. He was on the interview circle on Friday. Charlemagne the God, The View. Governor Cuomo wants it. Skinny Pants Newsom out in California wants it. I'm sure there are a few others that don't come to mind right now, including Hillary Clinton, who's acting as if she's not going to run, but she's already said she is. So and plus you're going to have Kamala, who's going to be very angry that she is being passed over. So this is really a very, very exciting time. The Democrats, you know, President Trump always says, say what you want about the Democrats, but they stick together. Well, he didn't say that Saturday night because they don't stick together anymore. It's a new Democrat Party. It is a Democrat Party that is not unified, and because they have no competent leadership. So there's a fight for control of the Democrat Party, which is a great time for us. All right, now our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I am going to talk about the rally with President Trump on Saturday, which was a spectacular rally. And we will talk about the controversy involving the endorsement by President Trump of Dr. Oz. Now, you know, and I know I'm not in Pennsylvania, so I'm not voting in that race. I'm in Florida, okay? So I will not be voting for Dr. Oz. I won't be voting for anyone else in Pennsylvania because I am not in Pennsylvania. But if you are in Pennsylvania, I'd very much like to hear from you today, from our Pennsylvania MAGA. I would very much like to hear your thoughts on the endorsement of Dr. Oz by our great president, Donald Trump. I am going to talk about this as the show goes on because I did I do weekend live streams on YouTube, Saturday and Sunday mornings, and I was talking about the rally yesterday, and we were talking about the endorsement of Dr. Oz, and it is something that some people have a problem with. So we are going to talk about that, and I do want to hear not just people in Pennsylvania. I want to hear all of your thoughts on President Trump's endorsement of Dr. Oz, because I think I know what President Trump's plan is for Dr. Oz and why he endorsed Dr. Oz. I think he's got a plan for Dr. Oz, and he endorsed him for a very specific reason. Now, if you watch my live streams on YouTube over the weekend, you already know because I talked about it yesterday, but I am going to bring it up after the break and hear your thoughts on it at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, today's Steve Kane Show is brought to you by MyPillow, the great Mike Lindell, who is just, the left are after Mike Lindell like no one's business. His banks canceled him. The stores canceled him. The local TV stations won't run his ads. He's got all kinds of problems. They're all just after this guy. They overwhelm Frank's speech and crash it moments after it goes live. They just don't like this guy. I saw him speaking on the stage at the podium at the Trump rally on Saturday night, and he was spectacular. And Mother's Day is right around the corner. This is the time to order for Mother's Day. Support Mike Lindell and all of his efforts, and at the same time, support the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show, when you use our promo code KANE at checkout at MyPillow.com. There are incredible specials. They all make great gifts for Mother's Day. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows. That's a wonderful gift for Mom on her day. And, the MyPillow mattress topper comes in a great box, perfect for wrapping. And, a lot of these things, if you're not going to see Mom, you can have them shipped directly to Mom. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows with the promo code KANE at checkout. The 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper is 50% off. It's a great deal. The 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, 60% off. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. The MyPillow itself with the promo code KANE as low as $19.98. The MyPillow My Slippers, 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. The MyPillow Body Pillow, this is an amazing thing. It's a MyPillow the entire length of the body. Steve has one of these, and you can curl up with it. It's beautiful. It's comfortable. The regular price for the MyPillow Body Pillow, $117.97, $117.97. With our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, just $39.99. And that MyPillow Body Pillow also a great gift for Mom on her day. Now, you'll see a lot of these specials right there at MyPillow.com, but if you click on the radio listener specials, there's even more deals. The MyPillow quilt for the bed. It's a beautiful quilt. Comes in 7 different colors. 50% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, the MyPillow quilt. The MyPillow Down Comforter, 50% off. The MyPillow Weighted Blanket. Oh, man, weighted blankets are awesome. Weighted blankets, I gave one to Steve. The weighted blanket, it makes you feel like you're just cuddled up, and it stops you from tossing and turning. The MyPillow Weighted Blanket, 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout. Of course, the MyPillow pet beds are heavily discounted, but they also have a new product, the MyPillow Pet Blanket, which is brand new, that you can throw on a couch, on a chair, or on the floor, anywhere. The MyPillow Pet Blanket, 30% off with the promo code KANE. All the specials you see at MyPillow.com, take advantage of with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Click on the radio specials for some extra special deals, and there's just a lot of great deals. Support Mike Lindell, and also give your mom a gift that she will have for years to come. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Brian Craig here. Come meet
I
Steve
did this at
Kane
4 a.m.
and me this Saturday from
Sounds good for 4 a.m., doesn't it?
Noon at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace. This is our first appearance in over 2 years, and all of you are invited. That's 11 a.m. till noon at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. The Festival Marketplace is just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. AJ's is located in front of the information booth next to the food court. Come meet Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, this Saturday, 11 a.m. till noon at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace. See you there.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array
pretty
of
good for
treatment
4
options
a.m.,
now
yeah.
available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis.
I'm trying to
We
go
also
back
offer
to drinking my
treatments that
coffee
correct the
black.
problem at its
So I've
source,
got black coffee
such
in
as
here.
PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore
Cutting back on
your
the
natural
sugar.
function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place. The Biostation.
I know
West
that.
Delray. If you want to correct your
About Whitney
erectile
Broderick, I know.
problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back, one and all. 19 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. All right, so President Trump endorsed Dr. Oz for his Senate race in Pennsylvania on Saturday. During the day, he released a written statement, and at the rally, he did another endorsement. And President Trump did an interview on Newsmax TV, and he talked about the endorsement there. And there's a lot of people, some MAGA, some fake MAGA, who claim to be MAGA, who are just having a fit about this because of some things of Dr. Oz in the past on his TV show that were liberal. Okay? President Trump, and one of those is the pro-life issue. Now, President Trump, in his written statement, he released a very big couple-paragraph endorsement for Dr. Oz. And in the very beginning of the second paragraph of President Trump's endorsement, it starts by saying Dr. Oz is pro-life. I don't know. I mean, I haven't followed Dr. Oz his whole life. I don't know. But President Trump says he's pro-life, at least now. And he wasn't in the past. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this, okay? I am not saying that, when I share something on the air, this is my opinion. Okay, I'm doing some analysis here. This is my opinion on what Trump's plan is with Dr. Oz. If you agree or disagree, you can pick up the phone and give me a call and tell me where I'm wrong and where you think Trump is off. Okay, and the number's toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I'm right here. If you got a beef, you can pick up the phone at any time and call us out on the carpet. But here is what I think President Trump's plan is for Dr. Oz. Okay, now if you watched me on YouTube yesterday morning on my live stream, I talked about this. If you remember, when President Trump was first elected, the first 2 years of President Trump's first term, second one's coming in 2024, but in the first 2 years of President Trump's first term, the Republicans controlled every branch of the government, right? I mean, we are both houses of Congress. We controlled both houses of Congress. And we didn't get the agenda done. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Two people, Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell. That's it. Paul Ryan, now he's running Fox News on their board of directors and screwing us over there. But Mitch McConnell is still in the Senate. And over the weekend, a story came out about Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is a disgusting person. He is as disgusting politically, because he's a traitor, as he is physically. Okay? Over the weekend, a story broke that Mitch McConnell donated to Liz Cheney's re-election campaign. Can you imagine? What a lowlife with what she's doing. You see what she's out there giving interviews about right now with her kangaroo committee about President Trump? President Trump, now this is all my opinion, and the number, I give you out the number, 1-888-465-2631. If you are MAGA and you disagree with me, pick up the phone and let's talk, okay? President Trump is involved in draining the swamp of rhino rats, the Republicans against Trump, that stopped his agenda when we controlled both houses. You know, when Trump went to Washington the first time, draining the swamp meant like Pelosi and all that stuff. And President Trump has now realized that the problem, the Republican establishment swamp, must be drained. He's doing a lot of endorsements in both houses of Congress. Governors too, but we're talking about Congress right now. And this is very important. Very, very important. Now remember, every 2 years, the entire House of Representatives is up for re-election, and every 2 years, 1/3 of the Senate is up for re-election. Mitch McConnell is the Republican leader in the Senate. If we take back the Senate, which I think we will, if we take back the Senate this year, Mitch McConnell is set to become, it's just assumed and presumed, to become the Senate Majority Leader as the senior Republican leader right now. I believe that President Trump endorsed Dr. Oz because he has an agreement with Dr. Oz. In exchange for his support, he will vote against Mitch McConnell maintaining his position as the Republican Senate leader, which would make him the majority leader. And the presidential election in 2.5 years, a little more than that, but when Trump comes in for his second term, that'll be the second third of the Senate will be up for re-election. By the time Trump comes back into office in the 2024 election, 2/3 of the Senate will have been up for re-election. And many of them that are there now are going to be replaced by MAGA, Trumplican Republicans. And President Trump has a master plan here for getting the Make America Great Again agenda through. And one part of that plan, and it's a major part of it, is to make sure that Mitch McConnell is not the Republican leader in the Senate. He's known, Donald Trump has known Dr. Oz for many years. They both went to the Wharton School. I did not know that, but they've been friends for many years. And I know Dr. Oz is, there's questions about some of these things that he's done on his TV show. I get it. Okay, I know what you're talking about. The trans kid episode and some things he said. I get it. But sometimes you can win a battle and lose the war. Right? Old saying. And what President Trump has to do is make sure that Mitch McConnell is not the Republican leader in the Senate. Mitch McConnell stopped his agenda the first time. That's why the wall isn't finished, because of Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan. So that's the big picture, I believe, with President Trump's endorsement of Dr. Oz. Now, I am very happy to take your calls. I know we got a lot of people in the chat room been griping at me for 2 days about this. That's fine. Butch up, call me up, and tell me why that is the wrong thing to do for President Trump and why you're not supporting him. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I think it's important to replace these rhinos, these rats, with Republicans that I call Trumplicans that are loyal to President Trump. Another thing, too, about Dr. Oz, and again, I know he's got some wackadoodle liberal positions on some things. The transgender kids, he did a thing on his TV show. President Trump says he's pro-life. It was in his statement. So I don't know where President Trump is getting that. I know in the past, Dr. Oz has been pro-choice. You know, there have been other people who have switched. You know, Mark Levin was a never-Trumper. And he's trusted now. He's in the Trump circle. Candace Owens, in the first campaign, during the primary era, was a very vocal never-Trumper. Before she got famous, she was on Periscope and things. She was a never-Trumper. So people do change. And I'm not saying that Dr. Oz has changed. I don't know. I don't know Dr. Oz. You know, I don't. We don't really know Dr. Oz. You know, what you see on television is not real with him, I don't think. But President Trump is putting together a coalition in the Senate to get rid of Mitch McConnell as the majority leader if we take over, or the Republican leader. Let's put it that way. And Dr. Oz, who's loyal to Donald Trump, in exchange for his endorsement, I believe, has made that deal with Donald Trump. So I'll throw that out to you. Tell me what you all think. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Yeah. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you want to feel like you did when you were young? Do you want to look like you did when you were young? Do you want to have energy like when you were young? Do you want to have your cognitive abilities restored? Your memory? Do you want to stand up tall? Do you want to have your sex drive back? Do you want to have your erectile dysfunction disappear from your life? Women who have lost their sex drive and are dealing with menopause. Do you want the menopause gone in reverse? Do you want your sex drive back, ladies? Of course, everybody, I think, has answered yes to all of those questions. And it's pretty simple. You just got to call Dr. Mitch Matez over at the Bio Station. Mention you heard about Dr. Matez on the Steve Kane Show, and it's a completely free consultation. Talk to Dr. Matez about hormone replacement pellet therapy. I've told you this many times. It's an amazing, I'm a patient of Dr. Matez. I've told you this many times. It's an amazing transformation I have seen in so many listeners. I'll meet a guy or a woman, and they're like Joe Biden. Hey, long time listener, you know. They're out of it. Scooting around like George Burns, looking like Joe Biden, checked out, the eyes are closed, half asleep. Then I'll see them at another appearance, one of Barry Siegel's workshops or at Wings Plus or something, and they're like a whole new person, standing up tall. Hey, Brian, proud to meet you. I met you that time over at Wings Plus, remember? Yeah. They're like completely new person because they began hormone replacement pellet therapy. Sometimes I'll say to them, oh, you went and saw Dr. Matez. And they'll say, how'd you know? And I'll tell them, because last time I saw you, you were walking around like an old man. And now look at you. All right. Hormone replacement pellet therapy does wonders. Give Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station a call. I'm going to give you the number. Now, if you miss this number, just go to SteveKaneShow.com. You'll see right at the top our sponsor page. Click that. All of our sponsors' information is listed there. Here's Dr. Matez's number at the Bio Station. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893. That's Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. And again, make sure you mention you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of that no-charge consultation.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly. 954-345.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe.
Located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide. 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782. Brian Craig here. It's been a year since I started sleeping on my MyPillow mattress topper, and it's changed my life. I sleep the night through every night. Don't just take my word for it. Here are some people who are sleeping on their MyPillow mattress topper too, sharing their experience.
With the MyPillow topper, I'm just finding that I don't build up any heat. I'm warm and I'm comfortable, but I'm not too clean and I'm not too cold, I'm not too hot. It just kind of keeps me right where I need to be in order to get a good night's sleep.
I think that my pillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
Immediately there was a difference. As soon as I laid down, I think I commented to Pam, I said, this feels dramatically different. And laid down and I slept there, and I kind of anticipated that I would be getting up during the night with that same heat coming off. It didn't happen. As a matter of fact, the first night I overslept.
Stop the cancel culture against Mike Lindell and MyPillow and get the best night's sleep you have ever gotten in your life. And order your 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout. KANE. 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, KANE, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, guys, welcome back. I saw a story today. The mayor of Miami, I guess Miami-Dade County. You know, there's the city of Miami, and then they named the whole county Miami-Dade County. I still call it Dade County. Been down here a long time. How many of you guys still call it Dade County? Oh, my goodness. They've declared a state of emergency over rent prices. And I'm here to tell you, I know rent... My wife and I, we think in the blessing that we have that we own our house. We lived in the same house for, I don't know, about 18 years. And thank the Lord above, we own our house. Rent prices in Florida are so high and they're so through the roof. And it's because of Democrats. It's because of Democrats. Here we've got this perfect state. Ron DeSantis' Free Florida. We may rename the state Ron DeSantis' Free Florida instead of just Florida. Why not? Why not? But I think that'd be great. Might not fit on the license plate, but I like it. This is the perfect state. And Democrats are the reason the rents have gone up. Because Democrats, you know, with the lockdowns and the shutdowns and all the oppressive tactics of governors and locals up in New York and Pennsylvania and all over the place, there's been a mass exodus to Florida. And there's a shortage of houses. And houses... sale prices have gone through the roof, and rents are just beyond affordable for people. I get it. It's terrible. There's a house on my street that was put up for rent, and I don't live in a rental community, but someone's renting their house on my street, and the rent, I couldn't afford the rent in my own neighborhood. I couldn't. I mean, it's thousands of dollars a month. And it's very overpriced, let me tell you. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the mayor of Miami-Dade has, I'm not sure, is this the Miami-Dade mayor or is this the city of Miami? Whatever, they declared an emergency over rent prices. Let me share this with you.
I am declaring a county-wide affordability crisis. I have released an executive directive to critical county staff to make sure that they accelerate solutions for our residents. I'm putting together a plan called the Building Blocks Program, and it will be, as a first step today, we are announcing a new and additional $13 million into our Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP. It is now available to eligible Miami-Dade residents. In Miami-Dade County, our workers, our seniors, our families have been burdened with unprecedented rent increases, over 30% higher than last year. For single mothers, for older adults, for our students, this is simply not an option. It's not an option for any of us.
Okay. So I don't know if she's a Republican or a Democrat. I don't know, but this is the worst idea that you could possibly do. What is this going to do? So they've declared rent, this is through the entire county, Dade County, Miami-Dade County. That's the Miami-Dade County mayor has declared a state of emergency for rent prices, and they have hundreds of millions of dollars of government money they're going to pour into this. What is that going to do? You know what that's going to do? It's going to drive the rents up even higher. You know, college tuition, textbook example of this, right? College tuition and books for college are so expensive. It never used to be that way. And then the government started giving student loans and grants and everything else to anybody who registered at a college. And the schools, what did they do? Because the government was paying for it, they raised all their prices. So this Dade County mayor getting herself involved is going to cause the problem to get worse. Remember what Ronald Reagan said, the scariest words he ever heard, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, right? Democrats are responsible for this, and you know, the local news here in South Florida, in Palm Beach County, which is where I live, the local news, they have a whole segment pretty much every day on the rent crisis. And some of the stories are heartbreaking, where people have lived somewhere for many, many years as a renter, and the lease is up, and the rent has been increased big time, and they can't afford to live there anymore. And they go and stay with a family member or their car, and there's an increase in homelessness. But it's a problem, and you know, it's a problem really with no solution. There's no solution to it. You can't come in and regulate rent. You can't come in and make, start pouring money into it, because once the government starts paying it, people are going to raise the rents even more because they want to get that government money coming in. It's awful. And people that are renters, I don't know what they're doing. And if you move to a new place, rents are so high, you got to come up with first, last, and security. You got to come up with $7,000 to $10,000 here in South Florida just to move in someplace. Who's got that kind of money laying around? Not very many people. So it's a crisis. There's no doubt about it. But it's one that really does not have a solution unless people start moving. You know, I see so many out-of-state license plates now in Florida with young people that have moved here and have not re-registered their cars. Oh, my goodness. And they're the ones doing it. And you know they're Democrats. Hopefully they're not Democrats anymore, but these Democrats up north and everything they did during the pandemic is what has driven this mass migration to Florida, and it's the capitalist system, scarcity, right? There's more renters than there are available properties. They've driven real estate prices up to humongous amounts. I mean, houses in my neighborhood are selling for so much more money than they're worth. You know, and sometimes people say to me, Brian, you should sell your house. You get a boatload of money. Well, the problem is I got to buy a new place to live. And prices are so high that it's, you know, what are you going to, you know, it's relative, right? Because the next place you move into is so expensive. So you really can't sell your house and move somewhere else unless you want to seriously downsize. I guess, you know, if I went and got a one-bedroom condo apartment or something, I guess. But still, even that would be so overpriced. So it is definitely a problem here in Florida. And there's nothing that Governor DeSantis can do about it. And there's going to be a housing crisis in Florida so far as home ownership values and foreclosures again, just like in 2008. Home values are so high. You know, I get these mailers, and everyone in Florida is getting this all the time. I know you guys are getting them. I get them. Every day I go to the mailbox. There's nothing in the mailbox but junk mail. The mail's so useless today. But what I get a lot of are the real estate agents in my neighborhood sending out the mailers for how much they've sold houses for in the neighborhood recently. And I look at these numbers, they're insanely high. People are buying houses that are so overpriced right now. I mean, double what the house is really worth. You know, so when things start to equalize, when there's a big drop in the market and someone has paid, say, $450,000 for a $200,000 house, what's going to happen? A lot of people are going to walk away. And a lot of people, see, people are so into get-rich-quick schemes. And a lot of people think, wow, housing prices are going up so high, I'm going to buy a house, and they're going up. I'm going to buy that house. I'm going to be a millionaire, or half a millionaire, or 3/4 of a millionaire after I buy that house, and I'm going to sell. People are buying houses that they really cannot afford. And they're buying houses they can't afford because they think it's a get-rich scheme thing, where the real estate, this is what happened in 08, and they're buying a house they really cannot afford, and they figure in 6 months or a year, because prices are going to go up, they'll sell it, and they're going to sell it, and they're going to be rich. And since they're buying houses that they're struggling to pay for, and they move in everybody that they know into the house to cover the mortgage, a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, and they realize what they did, what's going to happen? They're going to end up getting foreclosed on because they can't afford the payments. You know, that's what's going to happen. And what is that going to do? It's going to cause another housing crisis. And what will they do? They'll blame Ron DeSantis for it. Because by the time this hits, Ron DeSantis will either be running as vice president with Donald Trump, or he'll still be our governor who's planning to run for president in 2024. And this crisis here in Florida, 100% a Democrat crisis, forcing this migration to Florida. I wonder if they're dealing with this in Texas too. I don't know. They're going to blame this Democrat rent crisis and a collapse in the housing market created by the Democrats. They're going to blame it on Ron DeSantis to use against him. This is anytime Democrats do anything, they screw it up. All right, let's take our break. It is 6:45. I'm Brian. It's Monday morning, April 11th. Oh, man. Weekend flew by. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back after this.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the
Be right
air
back.
to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
Two bow ties in the back of my Infiniti. So I called them up. I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
And
half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
half the price. And not only that, his tires, which nobody had, the tires I was looking at had any mileage guarantee. His is 60,000 mile warranty. So
Wow.
they're not only half the price, but the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
Rick, everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody could buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate. I checked the temperature this morning before I left. The high today is going to be almost 90 degrees here in South Florida. The hot weather, it's already here, and it's only going to get hotter. On the line from Cut My Kilowatts, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. He's going to tell you how he can save you big money on your electric bill.
We're facing the onslaught of summer here, and a lot of people are going to be noticing that, if they haven't noticed already, that their air conditioner is just running non-stop, fighting to keep the house cool. A lot of times the air conditioner can't even keep up with the heat gain. You know, like, you'll have the temperature set in your house at 74, and you'll look at the thermostat, it'll be at 76 or 77 or even 78.
Yeah.
Even as high as 80. So what we do is Cut My 1kilowatts.com, and we've been doing radiant barrier in South Florida for 10 years. I mean, we did Steve Kane's house probably 10 years ago when I first started doing this in South Florida. Radiant barrier stops the heat gain in the house, lowers the temperature in the attic 30 to 40 degrees, literally cuts the air AC runtime in half, and get a lot of money.
Let's explain to people what radiant barrier is. We have known Scott from Cut My Kilowatts for well over a decade. He's with us every summer here on the Steve Kane Show. In the heat of the summer, the attic, how hot does an attic get during the summer, Scott?
It can get, depending on what kind of roof it has.
I had forgotten to turn the phones on this morning.
140, 150.
So I did not have the phones on. They're on now. I just turned them on just now. 150, 160 degree heat in your attic. When I came out of the last break, because I had not been paying attention to the phones, I given out the number a few times. I said, you know what? I forgot to turn the phones on. Longer, harder, causing your electric bill going up, struggling to keep your house cool. So Scott has the radiant barrier. So tell people what radiant barrier. That happens sometimes. They're on now. So if you were trying to call in and couldn't get through, that's why.
It goes on the underside of the roof deck, below the trusses, so there's an air gap, so it doesn't damage the roof. And it basically just turns the heat wave that comes down off the roof around and pushes it back up out the roof. So it makes your roof function like a white shingle reflective roof. You know, you see those white roofs on people's houses. They put them on because it cuts their electric bill 25-30%. Same thing with radiant barrier. You put it in on the underside of your roof deck. You know, it's like $1 a square foot, and we've got a special. If you spend 2,000 square feet or more, you get an additional $500 off. So I mean, it's very reasonable. It's very affordable. This time of year, you know, you're getting it for half price, plus you're getting additional money off. We also do traditional insulation, and we do ductwork. So we can do like the complete job in your attic, whatever you need up in your attic. Insulation, ductwork, you know, radiant barrier, we can do the whole package.
Now listen,
We do that for a lot of people.
it's getting hot today. It's going to be about 88, 89 degrees here in South Florida. We're not in the hottest heat of the summer yet. We will be soon. Yep, 888-465-2631. So you guys that were griping about Trump endorsing Dr. Oz, you can call back. It's more difficult for his crew to work in the attic. Now it's not quite as hot. They can get the work done faster, can spend more time in the attic. I'm going to give you Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm going to give you his website and his number. It's happened before. It'll happen again. SteveKaneShow.com. First, you can give Scott a call at 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. Well, because I have the black coffee, I'm not drinking it as fast, I guess. And again, listed at SteveKaneShow.com. Scott will save you money on your electric bill this and every summer. All right, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, have a great day. We will talk later in the week.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
Oh, well, this is lovely. This is embarrassing. So, I realized, I thought this, actually, when I came out of the last break, after the 6:30 bottom of the hour break, I forgot to turn the phones on here at the radio station studio this morning. And I realized it when I came out of the last break. I said, you know what? I think I forgot to put the phones on. And sure enough, so when I went to the last break, I went to the production room, which is next door, and called the number, and boom. No, I did not turn the phones on. So I just turned the phones on during the break. So, hey, there's a lot of shows. Every day is like the phones aren't on, right? I hear a lot of radio shows that sound that way. But I did not have the phones on. So those of you that were, and I can see a lot of people were calling in the first half hour of the program, and they couldn't get it. But the phones are now on. So if you were trying to call me earlier and you didn't get through because the phones were not working, they're on now. Oh my goodness. We had so many calls during that time. I'm looking here at so many people. It was set to ring once, and then it would not come through. So it didn't go through. And I'm looking, and our phone was ringing off the hook. And I didn't even know it. Oh my goodness. Oh well, okay. Well, if you're still pissed off or something, or have something to say, our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's working now. I turned the phones on. I had a friend that worked at a talk radio station, and the phones were not on because the radio station had not paid the bill. It was a tiny station many years ago. But no, I just forgot to turn them on this morning. It's not the first time that's happened. It's happened to me a couple times. There was one day we went through like 2.5 hours, and we didn't get a single call, and I couldn't figure. I was like, what is going on? Sometimes people call in, I don't take calls, because I'm blathering away, or, maybe the people on hold aren't interesting. But we went like 2.5 hours one day. And I'm like, what is going on here? And I checked. I forgot to turn the phones on. Well, hey, listen, I got up extra early to do some production work, and I got my coffee black this morning. I don't know what, and because my coffee is black, it doesn't taste as good as when it has the half and half in it. So I'm way behind on my coffee. I'm not drinking it as fast as I normally would because I don't like black coffee. All right, anyway, our number with the phones are on at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. So the Trump rally was spectacular, and President Trump said a lot of great things. He talked about two things, though. I only have one clip of President Trump that I'm going to play for you this morning from the rally Saturday night, and he talks about two things here: the January 6th prisoners and the verdicts in the Whitmer case, which were just amazing. Listen to this. This is President Trump Saturday night at the rally.
And we will, while we're at it, demand justice for the January 6 prisoners and full protection of their civil rights, like was received by Antifa and Black Lives Matter, who murdered people throughout our country. And as you probably have heard, one of the first January 6 trials ended in an extortion, and it was a horrible thing what they were doing to people, but there was exoneration because they effectively proved that he got waved into the Capitol by the police. Remember this, Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the Capitol, you know that, right? And the mayor of D.C., they were in charge of all security in the Capitol. Remember also that they were offered 3 days before, on January 3rd, 10,000 soldiers or National Guard to protect the Capitol. They turned it down. If they would have accepted that, they're in charge of it, and we offered it. If they would have accepted that, there would have been no January 6th as we know it. And in the quite famous Michigan trial, where people were supposedly going to kidnap the very unpopular governor, and it sounded very strange to a lot of people, 2 were just found not guilty and 2 others ended in a hung jury. So there's something going on down there. There's something going on. The radical Democrat Party will do anything to stop our movement.
That's right. That's President Trump. Okay, so let's go in reverse. Let's talk about the Whitmer plot. This was absolutely amazing. So 4 guys were on trial in the Whitmer kidnapping plot. And this story, very little coverage in the media, including Fox News, by the way, of this. And, Newsmax on the weekends, they did the Trump coverage. But, Newsmax on the weekends and Real American News, it's not like the full-time stuff. And a lot of it's pre-recorded, I think. They're not really set up for the breaking news on the weekends. But on Friday, the 4 verdicts came. This week, we had a week of verdicts. 5 verdicts came in with MAGA people that were on trial. Okay, now the last one is the Whitmer kidnapping. This was amazing. 4 guys were on trial in the Whitmer kidnapping plot. 2 of them found not guilty, and 2 of them the jury could not reach a verdict. And what happened in those cases, the jury believed what the defense case was. It was entrapment by the government. The government hatched the Whitmer plot. That's why those guys were acquitted, and the jury couldn't reach a verdict in the other 2. And I feel sorry for the ones that got the hung jury, because they could come after them. I don't know how long they have to go after them, but they could. I would not think that they would, because 2 got acquitted already in the Whitmer. So the Whitmer plot was believed by the jury. This is not the judge. The jury believed that the Whitmer kidnapping plot was entrapment by the federal authorities of these guys. That's amazing. That verdict should have stopped the news cycle on Friday. It should have been breaking news. Everyone should have had the sounders on and the graphics. Boom, 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 breaking news. But it wasn't. It was barely mentioned. The other one President Trump mentioned, we talked about earlier in the week here on the show. The first January 6th prisoner was found not guilty of all charges. And his defense was very similar to the defense in the Whitmer kidnapping plot. He said the Capitol Police let him in. The court believed him, found not guilty on all charges. That is absolutely amazing. So you've got 5 cases, 3 acquittals and 2 hung juries. You've got 5 guys in federal court this week believed to be part of some MAGA Trump-inspired insurrection. 3 of them acquitted, 2 of them no verdict, and still you have Liz Cheney all over the weekend on the Sunday shows doing interviews talking about how Trump did this insurrection plot with all these acquittals that were going on. And the acquittals were because the courts in those cases believed that the government was behind it all, not these individuals. That's amazing. And it has to be talked about because the news are not I told Steve the other day, talk radio's changed. We've had to become the news. Not because we chose to or wanted to, but we have to be the news now because the television news, the mainstream news, are not covering these stories. And if they do, it's a mention without the context of the importance of them because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to think about these things. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. The phones are now on at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631, a toll-free call. 1 hour down, 2 to go. We'll be back. Hour number 2 starts right now.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. We needed a new roof, and we knew we needed a new roof, but we just procrastinated. We saw wet spots on the ceilings. We called Tom Laporta, and he came out. He did a free roof inspection, which he does for everybody, not just us. And sure enough, we needed a new roof. We had a mold problem. It was only going to get worse. He dealt with our HOA association. He fixed our roof. Not only did he take care of the roof, he took care of the ceiling stains. So they removed all the popcorn, they cleaned everything up, they painted, they sealed inside and out. Everything is beautiful. And I have to tell you, when we get those hard South Florida rainstorms, it is such a pleasure to listen to the raindrops on the roof and not have to worry about it leaking or causing further problems. The staff was courteous. Tom answered every question. Call Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. He does residential and commercial properties, and his cell number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Make sure you tell him Lori Kane sent you.
Brian Craig here. Come meet Steve Kane and me this Saturday from 11 a.m. till noon at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace. This is our first appearance in over 2 years, and all of you are invited. That's 11 a.m. till noon at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. The Festival Marketplace is just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. AJ's is located in front of the information booth next to the food court. Come meet Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, this Saturday, 11 a.m. till noon at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace. See you there. Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All Living Trust plans...
Steve Kane Show. No. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now, here's Steve.
Alrighty, we are back 3 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. This Saturday, Steve Kane and I will be making our first personal appearance since before COVID at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace, Saturday from 11 a.m. till noon. 1 hour, okay? From 11 a.m. till noon. And then at noon, I'm leaving. I'm going to the gun show on Saturday. But 11 a.m. till noon at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop. And Steve Kane and I will be there. Our first personal appearance since before the COVID. And who knows when we'll do another one, okay? So, yeah. All right, well, let's go to the phones since I finally turned the phones on. Oh, my goodness. Doing a live call-in talk show, and I forgot to put the phones on. Oh, boy. Richie the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
Yeah, good morning, Brian. You know, first of all, I know, I'm not saying that I'm an expert because I've been knocked before about watching Fox like Steve has been knocked. And other stations. I watch Newsmax, and I watch ABC and NBC and all of these stations. And you know what I noticed? I noticed that there's a bigger problem up front than we realize. Like, for example, Chris Christie on Stephanopoulos yesterday.
Yeah, I've got that. I was going to play that in a few minutes. Yeah, you can talk about it though.
He's predicting that all 4 people that President Trump endorsed are going to lose. Oz is behind by 16 points. The guy he's running against, that it says that he's a Hollywood liberal, and he also says I'm the real deal, I'm the MAGA guy. Mm-hmm. He got the president endorsing a liberal. But really, what has me crazy, and I'm gonna don't get me wrong here, and I don't want to change topics. You're a religious Catholic. I mean, you made a big deal about how you and your wife found the Catholic Church. And that's the only true church. I've heard you on the radio before. Yet you're so pro-life. But you're only pro-life when it comes to abortions and American children. You're not pro-life when it comes to people on another land over there in the war zone where kids are getting...
Are you talking about Ukraine? You're talking about Ukraine? Yeah, well, I don't know. If let me tell you, if Ukraine is so dangerous... What the hell was Boris Johnson doing walking around like he was on a holiday?
Because they haven't gotten near Kiev.
If it was so dangerous, would Boris Johnson be walking around like he was a tourist?
I believe he would, because that was a sign to the...
You know, there's a guy I watch. I'm going to give you his name on YouTube. Okay, he's in Ukraine, and I subscribe to his YouTube channel. And I believe his name is Pavlo from Ukraine. I can't find his shit. It's Pavlo from Ukraine, okay? Look up Pavlo from Ukraine. Pavlo from Ukraine's like 25 years old. He's got this girlfriend who looks like one of those Russian models, and he's staying at grandma's house, okay? And he's been there the whole time. And he's streaming on YouTube all the time. He's not in Kiev. He's a couple hundred miles away from Kiev. He doesn't seem concerned. His girlfriend, who would be on the top of the list of the rape victims of the soldiers, she doesn't seem afraid.
Let me ask you a question. Obviously you believe Pablo, so you don't believe any of the...
Well, no, what I'm telling you is Pablo wants America there, but what I'm telling you is Pablo in Ukraine, he hasn't missed a beat.
You're in denial? You're in denial that the babies are getting murdered?
On purpose they're murdering? I don't know if on purpose, but I do know this, that if Ukraine and Russia were in the middle of Africa and everyone was black and everything was the same, I don't think you and Fox News and all these other people and the generals on Fox would be all that concerned about it. Yeah, I'm playing the race card. But this time I think it applies.
You're changing this.
No, I think a lot of people are tugging on the heartstrings because it's white people. I think if they were black Africans, I don't think there would be such sympathy.
But a life is a life, and you're so pro-life. You see all these babies that just got slaughtered at that train station. You sit there in denial saying, I don't know if this is true, Pablo.
Pablo from Ukraine, he's staying at his grandma's house with his model girl, his bikini model girlfriend, streaming on YouTube all the time. He doesn't look like he's got a worry in the world, and he's a very patriotic Ukrainian 25-year-old.
Did Boris Johnson look like he had a worry in the world?
No, he did not. He didn't. He was in a suit. He wasn't in military. I don't know if he could get a helmet on over that hair, but Boris Johnson's walking around like there's not a worry in the world over there. And by the way, he also had to fly in Russian-controlled airspace, right? And he flew in, didn't he? How did he get in there? We don't really know. Did they tell us?
He didn't. I think it was a secret mission. I don't think
secret mission. You really think, the Prime Minister of the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom comes to a war zone? You really think that they didn't know about him coming there? The Russians? Come on.
I will say this to you. You are very consistent with the abortion and pro-life. And I say this to every one of the callers out there that are pro-life. You're pro-life when it comes to American babies, but you're not pro-life when it comes.
So you're I see. So yeah. So what are you suggesting we do? What are you suggesting be done, Richie?
I am suggesting that this president, this zombie that we got in the White House, this total zombie. And by the way, they're throwing a lot of.
No, but what are you suggesting the United States does, Richie? What do you want us to do?
I don't think that we've done enough. I don't think we've given them tanks. I think we've been afraid. I think we've been the ones that have stopped them from getting their planes. I think totally that this president of the United States is compromised, and you're going right along with him. You think he's operated really well with this? He should have dumped all these weapons to them. Boris Johnson's giving them.
Do you know what when I have the news on and they start talking about Ukraine? You know what I do?
Turn it off.
I turn the station. Yeah. I'm all for giving them weapons. I'm all for giving the Ukrainian weapons. I just don't want us involved in it.
But you also said that this is not what you're seeing. Basically, is not true. That by you telling me about this other.
I think that if Russia really wanted to take Ukraine, it would be over.
What do you think of the babies killed over there? I'm going to ask.
I'm opposed to that. What do you think?
I'm not opposed to doing anything about it.
So what do you think we should do about that?
You're so worried about getting involved in a nuclear war with Russia. You're so worried about this that you're going to let this guy do whatever he wants, kill babies, and sit there and.
Well, you live out in the boonies. You live out in the boonies, right? You live out in the boonies. If there was Fort Lauderdale, Miami are on the target list, right? You are so far out in the middle of nowhere away from the targets. Oh, no, you're not that close to Patrick Air Force Base, and they have what you're protected. Think about this. You are living. You are. Knowing geography doesn't mean that I know your house. Okay, so you're living in an area. Oh, so this is interesting. So you're living in an area with an air defense system. You got so you're near Patrick Air Force Base. There's a Space Force base over there too. So you are living. So your house is located where there is a missile air defense system, because they got to protect the Air Force Base and the Space Force base there. Okay, so tough guy with his missile defense system around his house. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Vince from Wellington.
Hey, Vince. What's up?
Yeah, Richie's just kind of trained to the Fox narrative.
He's brainwashed. He
doesn't have much of another insight other than the garbage that they're spewing him. And it's so much propaganda going around on both.
I mean, me personally, I'm opposed to the civilian deaths and the children's deaths in Ukraine. I don't even, nobody, but what are we supposed to do? Get involved in we just had this week major court cases, the Whitmer kidnapping case and the January 6th case, that we found out that the government was involved in these plots and entrapped these people. And that tells us that we've got a rogue government in this country, and how can we be worried about something half a world away?
See, Brian, I try not to harp to everybody about everything, but between the vaccine, for COVID.
Well, the governor Whitmer kidnapping. And again, there were 4 guys on trial, 2 hung juries, 2 completely acquitted. And the jury believed their defense, that they were entrapped by the federal agents, that was a federal agent plot that these guys were entrapped into. The January 6th guy that was acquitted earlier this week, the court believed his defense. He said he was inside the Capitol. There's pictures of the guy. The Capitol Police let him in. So in both of these high-profile cases, we find out that federal law enforcement were behind the whole thing. The Capitol breach with that guy and the Whitmer kidnapping. And I'm supposed to be worried about Ukraine? Are you kidding me?
I mean, there's so many unanswered questions on the things that are happening in our own country. Why would we be so worried and wrapped up in something that isn't NATO involved? And Richie's over there talking about, we need to give them bombs and weapons. Listen, you do that, and it's crossing the real red line that somebody's going to bomb us.
Yeah.
Or not even bomb us, but bomb a NATO country and then get us involved.
And I love it. Here's Richie. He lives next to an Air Force base. I did not know that. So Richie is protected by a missile air defense system. So if his neighborhood is attacked, he's got a whole Air Force wing with a defense system to protect him. It's easy to be brave in that situation from a nuclear strike.
It's easy to play Monday morning general, but when it comes down to it, this guy Biden is completely out of it. Did you see the video of him standing next to Kanjanji and Kamala, where loses?
Yeah.
He loses his train of thought and has like a 14-second just blur.
Yeah, he's got the nuclear football. Isn't that something?
Yeah, and Kamala's behind him looking like the devil, smiling from ear to ear.
And notice, there was a news girl was fired for saying that Kamala looks like a UPS driver in that brown suit. Did you hear this story last week? And now I notice Kamala's wearing the brown suit all the time now. Since that happened, I see her in the brown suit all the time.
Yep, it's sickening, man. It's sickening. These people, I think they go for the gaslight more than anything, because, aside from our gaslight going empty and having to pay outrageous prices, but they just gaslight the people all they can.
Did you see the Trump rally on Saturday?
The guy can't really,
That's all right. That's okay.
He's coming back strong, and I believe in his message. That's all I have to do. I spread his message as best I can, but I just hope he's the real deal, man, because I don't have no faith in anybody.
President Trump? Oh, yeah, of course he's. Why would you even question that? President Trump is the real deal. I mean, and you're in Wellington. You're like a few minutes away from his house.
Be wrong. Like I said, I love the guy. It's not like I would ever lose faith in him. Like he said, he could shoot somebody in
Fifth Avenue. That's right.
And I would say he's innocent.
Well, hey. Apparently, anybody can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue these days and get out of jail the same day. So it doesn't have the same meaning it did. All right, take care. Oh, let me take one more call. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
Hey, Wisconsin Gary. How are you?
Oh, doing lovely in Ohio today and everything for 3 stops and.
Oh, my home state. Whereabouts in Ohio are you stopping at? What cities?
By Columbus.
Oh, okay. Cincinnati's nice.
Better than Columbus, cleaner-wise, but...
It is cleaner. Columbus is a dump. It used to be nice, but BLM took over. Anyway, what's on your mind, Gary?
Anyways, I normally don't like to pick on Richie, but, a lot of things that Richie gets his news from now, a lot of us, we kind of broaden out a little bit more to get more news off of YouTube. I know you did. You were talking about that one guy you follow.
Pavlo in Ukraine. Go look at Pavlo in Ukraine. His girlfriend is a bikini model. He's staying at grandma's house. They're not leaving Ukraine, and he's not joining the army. He's hanging out with his bikini model girlfriend and grandma, streaming on YouTube all the time. He doesn't seem worried.
Right. And I hate to say it, but Richie is starting to really turn into more of a puppet because, he mentioned it to some of us that we were puppets. And, if you're only getting your news only from Fox only and you're not running around on YouTube looking for all this stuff that's going on there, maybe Richie would kind of tone down his belt a little bit of how he's portraying a lot of this. Now, I've mentioned before on this broadcast numerous times, I'm against us being any part of this war. I'm leaving my status on that very highly. It's not our war. We shouldn't be dealing with anything with it. I'm sorry for what's happening with Ukraine and everything, but there's some pictures in between there that's good and right between what's happening.
Let me ask you, what I said to him, if Russia and Ukraine were in Africa and were countries made up of all black people, do you think Fox News and all these people would be so concerned?
No, because Africa is more or less kind of like a third world country.
Yeah.
Even care. The only reason why they're portraying a lot of this is to show the badness of Russia. And, Biden ended up putting his hand in a lot of helping Russia, giving them a pipeline to sit there and open that up, but he blocks ours. Granted, I understand, Richie, with everything that's happening in the U.S., with everything that's gone downhill, yeah, we should be fighting more about what's in our values in the United States more than what's going on with other countries right now, because literally our country has really gone, you can fill in the blank on that one, I'm not going to say it, but it's just, everything else has just kind of really gone bad. Now, as for, you did mention about the senator in Pennsylvania, I can't remember his name, Dr. Oz, he was for a lot of bad things, but unfortunately, if you have to pick between a Democrat only on the ticket, I guess, him endorsing Dr. Oz is better than nothing. So if I was in Pennsylvania and if he was the only Republican on that ticket, I would vote for him.
President Trump said in his statement that Dr. Oz is pro-life now. I don't know. I'd have to hear Dr. Oz talk about that, but I got to believe Trump. But, I was talking... Well, I got a break, Gary. I looked at the break. I don't have time to tell it. It's time to break. But thanks for the call. And give a honk along the Ohio River to all my friends in Cincinnati. All right? Okay, listen. We're going to take our break. We'll come back and talk more about that. The show's much better when I turn the phones on. I love it. Oh, my goodness. 21 minutes after the hour. We'll be back.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide. 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
Hey there guys, it's Kathy, Brian's better half, and one of the most important holidays of the year is coming up, Mother's Day.
I'm going to recap my thoughts on Trump's endorsement of Dr. Oz. I started with, for people that weren't tuned in then, and now since I have the phones turned on, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, I welcome calls telling me I'm wrong as well as I'm right.
Get your mom a gift she will love and one she will actually use year after year. When you visit mypillow.com, be sure to use promo.
You know, Burt Reynolds' mustache. Burt Reynolds' last movie, where he basically played himself, was amazing. I cannot remember the name of the movie. I saw it on Amazon.
Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for huge savings and
I think Movie Star might have been in the title. It was a great movie. All right, 23 minutes after the hour, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show. Steve actually started with Marconi himself, I think. It's been that long. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to recap what I opened the show with at 6, involving President Trump's endorsement of Dr. Oz, because I didn't have the phones on for the first hour, and people may not have heard. Okay, so the rally was spectacular, I must say. You know, President Trump's rallies, if you've noticed, they've been shorter. They've been about an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes. Not the 2.5 hour length. And I believe that is because of Iran. I believe for security purposes. But I like the shorter speeches because the shorter speeches allow, I think, President Trump to be very specific about news that is affecting us today, like he was talking about the Whitmer case, the verdicts, and the January 6th verdict, and stuff like that. And I really enjoy that. Now, when you're there in person and you've been waiting 12 hours or however long, maybe you would like the 2.5 hours, but I enjoy the hour and 15 minutes Trump rallies. He can go on for 10 hours. I'd watch the whole thing, but I think I like him talking mostly about the new stuff going on in the news that week. I think it's kind of cool. And he knows everything that's going on, doesn't he, President Trump? He always has. But his endorsement of Dr. Oz has gotten a lot of people riled up. And this is my thoughts on that. Because Dr. Oz had some liberal positions when he was doing his TV show. He did a show on transitioning kids. And in the past, he's been pro-choice and all these things. And obviously, we're not that. President Trump said in his statement endorsing Dr. Oz over the weekend, his written statement, it's in the second paragraph right in the beginning, that Dr. Oz is pro-life. I got to believe Trump. But this is what Trump is doing, in my opinion. Okay? He has made a deal. You know, what the agenda of President Trump, we had both houses of Congress during Trump's first 2 years. The reason that the wall is not finished, it was almost finished, but the reason that the wall was not finished was because of Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan's now on the board of directors of Fox and doing all that. But I believe, and you hear President Trump talk about Mitch McConnell, Mitch McConnell's the worst. He's the worst. He donated money to, Mitch McConnell donated money to Liz Cheney's re-election campaign just this week. And a third of the Senate is up every 2 years. President Trump knows Dr. Oz personally. He has made a deal with Donald Trump, in my opinion, looking at what's going on. He's made a deal with Dr. Oz to not vote or support Mitch McConnell remaining the Republican Senate leader. He's trying to get Mitch McConnell out of his leadership position. He'll try to get him out of the Senate too, but it's not time for that yet. So my opinion is, those of you that got a lot of issues with Dr. Oz on some of these issues, I get it, and I agree with you, but there's a bigger picture here. And by the time Trump comes back into the White House in 2024, 2/3 of the Senate will have been up for election. And he's got these 2 elections to get rid of Mitch McConnell in the leadership position so that he can get the MAGA agenda through the Senate that Mitch McConnell stopped before. So I really think people have to put aside these issues they have with Dr. Oz and support who Trump tells you to support, because Trump has a plan of draining the swamp. And Mitch McConnell is in his way. That's my opinion. I'd certainly like to hear your thoughts on that. There's a lot of people out there that say they're MAGA. Some of them are. Some of them are fake MAGA. But there's a lot of people out there that are like, this is a make or break it thing with them, with Trump. I don't get that. But I want to hear from you on this issue with the Oz endorsement by President Trump at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. You know, business is all about compromise. Sometimes you got to compromise things to get what you need accomplished. And President Trump's a deal maker, the art of the deal. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Christine from PA.
Christine from Pennsylvania. Oh, so you're going to have to make the choice because Dr. Oz is going to be on your... Okay, so what are your thoughts on the Trump endorsement of Oz?
Well, my thoughts on the Trump endorsement is up in the air. As of right now, I would not be voting for Dr. Oz. However, something huge would have to be big where he actually did change. He may have just changed his party and his stance just to get in. I don't have a good feeling about him, but it's just going to make me do my homework so that I can investigate more. And I pray that maybe he's just on the primary ticket to just split things up. And, you know, who's to say he's not lying to Trump?
Well, that's true. You never know. I mean, you know, people have done that before, and they'll do it again. And there were staff members of President Trump who were liars and got in there and screwed him. I get it. But, yeah.
It's not just the fact that, you know, he would be pro-abortion or the transgender. It's also a lot of other stances that he has taken, even on with guns, the Second Amendment. You know, he's had a lot of different things, and then he just switched swaps and changed.
Well, I get it, and I want to know. Okay, I hear what you're saying, and that TV show for many. I was not a watcher of the TV show. I saw it once, and he had Gwyneth Paltrow on, and he was talking to Gwyneth Paltrow about the shape and color of her doo-doo, and they had like fake doo-doo out there. I was like, what are you talking about? But I don't know if we should judge his political opinions based on that show. For a couple reasons. When he was doing the show, he wasn't involved in politics and never dreamed of it. Remember, President Trump used to be a Democrat. Ronald Reagan used to be a Democrat. He was also, that show was produced by Oprah Winfrey. And a lot of these shows you're talking about may not have been his choice. You know, Harpo Productions, Oprah Winfrey may. I'm not giving it. Maybe he believed in all that stuff. I don't know, and I agree with you. It's concerning to me, as well.
On radio, Brian, and you know, I hate to say this, but he is guilty by association by being associated with Oprah Winfrey.
Well, President Trump's been associated with Oprah Winfrey. He's been on Oprah many times. She's done special episodes on him. I don't know. I know during COVID. Well, I will tell you this though, Christine, and by the way, this is Christine that's in our My Pillow Towel commercial. So Christine, I do trust your opinion, and I do, and you're actually going to be voting in Pennsylvania, not the most of it. But during the worst times of the COVID, Dr. Oz was on TV every day supporting everything that President Trump was doing during the whole COVID mess in the early days, that last year of the Trump presidency. He was very loyal and supportive of everything Trump said and did. And every day, I saw Dr. Oz on TV at night analyzing the Trump press conference from that day. And he was always supportive of him. And it was not popular for him to do that.
Well, Well, I just hope he won't be another Judas, but as of right now, I'm going to have to do some investigating and some searching.
But, you know, Christine, what I'm talking about is getting rid of Mitch McConnell in the leadership position is very important, you know? And we can't get anything done if Mitch McConnell's still there.
His way out regardless.
Okay. All right, Christine. Well, after you do your research and investigations, get back with us and let us know. Your opinion matters. All right. Take care. Take care. Now, I just got a message. Steve Kane will be joining us after the break. And in honor of Christine, she's in one of our MyPillow commercials for the MyPillow towels, which, by the way, make great gifts for Mother's Day, the MyPillow towels. And there's a great deal with the promo code Kane. I'll play the commercial with Christine talking about her MyPillow towels. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break and come back, and Steve Kane will be joining us.
I love my MyPillow towels. Unlike other towels, the MyPillow towel absorbs. They're soft to the touch. They come with a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Mike Lindell says towels that actually work. What a concept. But don't just take my word for it. Christine from Pennsylvania called live on the radio and shared her experience with her MyPillow towels.
I was just going to say, I bought the My towels a couple weeks ago, and they are fabulous. They are the best towels I've ever used. They're just the right amount of thickness. They're not too thin, they're not too thick, and they're a great length. They're like longer than your average towel, and they are fabulous, luxurious.
You know, what's amazing to me about the MyPillow towels, Mike Lindell's a genius with his invention. It absorbs the water, and the towel's not soaking wet after.
Yes, exactly.
You know, other towels, the water just kind of lays on top of them. They don't absorb it, and you're just smothering water, smearing it around on your body. Not with the MyPillow towels. What color did you get?
I got the sage green.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to order because I love purple, and I'm going to have to get a purple.
Man, my wife's ordering the purple too. She says it doesn't match her bathrooms, but she likes the purple anyway, so we're getting purple.
Who cares?
Exactly. Exactly. All right, Christine, thank you so much. The MyPillow towels are normally $109.99, but with our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, just $39.99. You can also order by phone.
That's great, Dan.
1-800-716-4879.
Thanks.
1-800-716-4879.
Steve Kane Show.
4879. Promo code Kane.
Hold on.
Do you suffer from neuropathy?
Steve Kane Show.
Do you have numbness, pain,
Hey, hold on.
burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and
I got this so I can have this on my scooter. My hot coffee's in here. This is amazing. Look at this. You can turn it upside down. It doesn't leak out. Isn't this crazy? I got this at Target. I got this so I can have drinks in my scooter and put this in the trunk on the scooter without spilling it. And that's just amazing. Isn't that amazing?
1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, the phones are cooking, and Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve, good morning.
It's going to be one of those Mondays. Why do you do this on Mondays?
Do what?
I was listening off the air, and it was like deja vu from last Monday's. That must be the weekend does something to you. But you take these bizarre positions, which, I got to be honest with you, I find it hard to believe that you believe some of the things you say on the air. Like, what the English Prime Minister, Boris, what's his list?
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson. Like it wasn't an act of bravery for him to go over there, for him to do what the United States should be doing, which once again, quite simply, of course easier said than done, but quite simply, he's giving the Ukrainians what they need. Heavy-duty guns.
Yeah, I'm for that.
The damn war.
So I knew when Richie called this was going to happen. You know, I did. You know, in the first hour, I forgot to turn the phones on today, right? So in the first hour, and then I turned the phones on, and then Richie calls in, and I as soon as he started talking about Ukraine, I said I knew when Steve joins us, we're going to be talking about Ukraine. I was like, ugh.
Oh, like that's not a big thing. This is an example of what I'm talking about. It's a humongous thing. Humongous. It's not that there aren't other catastrophes that this administration has created outside of that. I certainly would agree with that. But to say that Ukraine is not a major issue when they're being massacred.
No, I just wish I would have not remembered to turn the phones on for 10 more minutes so I didn't get Richie's call today. But that's okay. To me, I believe like the Whitmer kidnapping acquittal is a bigger story in America today than you know, and all these things. But that's me. We got a different opinion on these things.
What you said was that Boris Johnson's a phony.
No, I love Boris Johnson. I like Boris Johnson. Although Boris Johnson was different before he got COVID. No, I didn't criticize him. I said he was walking around like he was a tourist, like he was on holiday in Kiev.
Lying, the way you put it, we don't have the tape, but or at least
It was just a few minutes ago. I'll say it again. You know, he wasn't even wearing like a helmet, was he? I mean, he was walking around like he was on holiday.
And you implied in that statement, right at that point, you implied that it wasn't really dangerous.
I said he didn't seem worried.
Well, that's the same thing that I just said. That's exactly what you didn't seem worried, like it was a day in the.
I love Boris Johnson. I think he's like the UK Trump.
You never loved me like that. I mean, you basically called him a phony.
No, I'm not calling him a phony. I like Boris Johnson.
Well, so why did you take that shot of the implying?
It was a shot at Richie. I was taking a shot at Richie. I'm not taking a shot at Boris Johnson. But it didn't look like he was worried about anything. He flew in Russian-controlled airspace and everything. And
what does that mean? Why did you bring that up? What?
If the Russians controlled the air like they say, I don't know if Boris would have flown in.
The Russians don't control the air.
Well, Boris got through. Well, listen, there's.
Buy into these.
Okay.
Aggravating.
All right, there's only one opening on the board.
To calm down after last week.
Well, there's only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Right on, don't give up with this.
Oh, yes.
Right on the money.
Yeah, you have the Steve Kane approval to hijack the direction of the show on a dime.
Oh, the direction of the show doesn't have time for mass murders of civilians and kids? Stacking up like, so many...
All right. We're going to disagree. We're going to have to agree to disagree. All right, let's take some calls. Only one opening on the board. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Jessica from Delaware.
Hey, Jessica. Delaware, Biden country. Ugh.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was going to say, for the Dr. Oz thing, people change. Look at me. I was like a Democrat about a year ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, slow down. Oh, I'm so glad you called. You were a Democrat until a year ago, and now you're a MAGA Republican. What changed you from being a Democrat into MAGA?
Donald Trump.
Well, let's hear her tell us. What specifically?
Steve Bannon. I listened to Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon.
And I feel like I like how he just is the one that had me looking, researching, and realized, like, as you guys say, Trump Republican, I'm a Bannon Republican.
Oh, okay. You can be a Bannon Republican. I love Steve Bannon shows. I watch his show 3 or 4 days a week, that 5 o'clock hour. It's much better than the 5. But, I'll tell you, there were a lot of people who are prominent MAGA conservatives today who were against President Trump. Candace Owens, in the first campaign, was online attacking Trump, talking about his hand size, which is a penis size reference, and everything else. And look at her now. Mark Levin was a never-Trumper. People do change.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I just got to throw this. Hold on 1 second, caller. People do change, but we've all been liberals. Is there anybody out there that's now a conservative and a Trumper and all that?
Very few. That's right. Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Democrat, liberal.
Andrew Breitbart was a Democrat.
All right.
Well, you know, this is what I was talking about. This endorsement of Dr. Oz Saturday by President Trump, there's people all over social media attacking Trump for this. And some of them are really MAGA people. You know, Christine that I was talking to, she's as MAGA as it gets, and she's bothered by it, okay? And there are others. And I'm just telling people there's a bigger picture here. And, you know, whatever your personal grievances are, you got to put them aside.
I think the caller who brought up your inconsistency with the pro-life thing.
Oh, Richie. Again, back to Richie.
Because and this is the reason I'm with Richie on this. The fact
well, you're
is
lucky, D. You're
that
lucky.
These kids are being killed, and it's no different than abortion. It's no different than abortion, and I don't care that they come from another country or whatever. This guy is a brute. This guy is a rerun of Hitler. Nobody wants to recognize that. If we don't do him in now, we're going to have to do him in later, and I think the longer we wait, the more problematic it will become.
I don't know. Let me ask you what you think, caller from Delaware. What to you this morning? What are the big political stories in order of their importance? What do you think? I think the Whitmer kidnapping acquittals are number one. Steve thinks Ukraine is number one. What do you think is the most important story today, politically?
Politically, I think the one that's gone under the radar is those darn, who are they? Those Secret Service people.
Oh, the Iranians that infiltrated the Secret Service. Yeah, that's a big one too. How the hell did that happen? Yeah.
The rest of the story on that.
And why are we still involved in And why are we still involved in talks with Iran when the Iranians just infiltrated the Secret Service last week? Yeah, that's a big one. Hey, Delaware, we got to run, but thanks for the call. Let's take one more call before we break. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
I'm doing just great. Brian, I find it very interesting that you're not being allowed to have your own opinion on Ukraine.
Of course I'm allowed. Steve's not stopping me.
But Richie is just almost like hell-bent on just repeating until you see his side.
Richie, let me tell you something. Richie is a highly skilled chronic caller. And Richie knew when I didn't even mention Ukraine today, and I had, and he knew if he brought up Ukraine and did that he'd get Steve on it.
You started on Ukraine.
I didn't mention it until Richie brought it up, I don't think. If I did, I've forgotten. But I don't think I mentioned Ukraine until Richie brought it up.
Major story that England, who I love England, and part of my heart is in and with England, they did the right thing with this American president, so incompetent and so senile that he's letting all these people die because he's promising everything. Wasn't the idea used to say, promise them anything but give them our passion? He promises all these great things he's going to send them, and he never ships them out. And the media just goes along with it. Oh yeah, that's right. You did promise the...
Well, what do you think, Andrea? What do you think, Andrea?
This is what I think. I stand with the people of Ukraine, I stand with the people of Russia, and I stand with the people of the United States.
You stand with the people of Russia, you stand with... Hold on, you're talking about
the civilians, the population of the Russian people.
Because
the dead ones.
No. She's saying that the Russian people are being victimized too. There's
no question of that. There's no question of that.
The people of Ukraine are being victimized by Russia. And do you know what the common denominator is? The politicians. Because Zelensky, if he really wanted this done, If he really cared for his people, he would have negotiated a peace treaty with Russia where he wouldn't join NATO and Russia would leave them alone.
Let me ask you, Andrea, when Boris Johnson was walking around Kiev, did he look like he was on vacation?
No, that's the stupidest thing. What does that mean?
It didn't look like
he was on.
It was during the day he's walking around and flying in Russian-controlled airspace. He didn't look like he had a worry in the world. All right.
Leader, he said.
Okay.
Just like the other guy you don't like.
Zelensky.
Here's my thing. At least I want Brian to just absolutely not bend and not waver in what he thinks based on how bullied he gets.
Well, you know, I was talking about Pavlo in Ukraine on YouTube is a guy who's about 25 years old, and I've watched his videos for a while prior to everything going on here, and very good videos, and I was talking about his girlfriend because it's important. Okay, he's got a girlfriend who's a bikini model, right? He's not in Kiev. He's a couple hundred miles away. He's with his bikini model girlfriend still today at grandma's house, streaming on YouTube every day. If all I'm hearing about are rapes, his girlfriend would be on the top of the rape list, okay? Especially broadcasting. If I've seen him on YouTube, you know the Russians are. Why is he not? His biggest fear. You know what his biggest fear is? His biggest fear is that he's going to get drafted by the Ukrainian army. And he doesn't have any worries about his girlfriend being picked up and raped. She could have fled to Poland, and she didn't.
It's not even dangerous over there. You know, this is the stuff that drives me crazy.
Well, Pavlo in Ukraine doesn't think it's that dangerous.
That's not true. There are people that have different tolerance to bravery tolerance.
What do you think, Andrea? I mean, if he was fearful, wouldn't he get his bikini model girlfriend to Poland so she doesn't get raped by the Russian hordes?
So that means that no one's dying over there, Andrea. Don't you understand that? If you take the bikini model girlfriend, the fact that she's there and she's not scared, that means that there's nothing to be scared of. You buy that logic?
And he's on YouTube telling everybody where he's at in Ukraine. The Russians could go pick him up if they wanted to.
It's not dangerous. What is all this thing we're worrying about?
Yeah. Hey, Andrea, you get the last word because we got to run.
Well, here's a tidbit for you about Mitch McConnell for the last word. I read an article this weekend that during the lockdown, Mitch McConnell was the politician that benefited financially the most from the lockdown. Mitch McConnell made a ton of money during the lockdown, and I would like to know how.
Oh, that's a good question, and he gave some of that money this week to Liz Cheney's re-election campaign. He's a creep. Andrea, thanks for the call. Now, we'll talk about something that Steve and I will most definitely agree with, and that's Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano, where you've been going for your neuropathy. How's the neuropathy treatment going, Steve?
It is going very well. I get it's part of this thing you do at home. They give you the equipment, and you can do it twice a day. It's an unbelievable thing. Neuropathy is just the bane of anyone's existence. And
Steve Kane Show.
It's annoying, it's painful, it's horrible. There's no cure. There's
Steve Kane Show.
Well, I don't know about the word cure. It's kind of a loaded word. But I do know that I have experienced, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. An experience is worth 1,000 pictures. And I'm telling you, this treatment does work. It has made a major difference in my neuropathy. It affects, I had balance problems, I had all kinds of problems, and the good folks at really...
Now, let me tell you, Lighthouse Medical Center, they're here in Pompano in Broward County. This medical practice has been in practice with the same family for 75 years in Pompano. That's amazing. They're one of the founding families of Broward County. 75 years. That's amazing. And even if you were, though, out of town, out of state, another part of Florida, somewhere else in America, and you're suffering from neuropathy or someone in your family is, call Lighthouse Medical Center. They can help you too. Now, it's a completely free consultation. If you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show, I'm going to give you the number. Now, if you miss this number, go to stevekaneshow.com, click on the sponsor page. There's a button right at the top of the website. All of our sponsor contact information is right there, okay? Here's the number for Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642, 754-222-6642. And again, make sure you mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show for that free consultation. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Now that things are opening up again, employers are hiring. Need a drug test before your job interview? Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs and get tested. No doctor's order needed. No appointment necessary. Just walk right in. No insurance? No problem. Because they offer the lowest prices on all their thousands of lab tests. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro, on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, 7 before 8 is the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Richard.
Richard, yes.
From Coral Springs.
Yes, Richard.
I'm sorry. This is a first-time caller. I've been listening to your show every morning when I drop my son to school. I just have to say a brief thing to what you said, and I 100% agree with you and disagree with Kane. This is a big propaganda, what Zelensky is doing. People just think that he's on TV. This is the same thing which happened with BLM, with all kind of stuff which was propaganda, and people are feeling so sad and like to agree. Nobody's saying there is no war going on. This is a civil war. Same thing happens in Kashmir between India and Pakistan for
civil war? They're two different countries.
Well, Russia disagrees with that. Russia disagrees that they're two different countries.
You agree with
different countries, sir? Well, all I'm saying is, this is a civil war. People do not understand how much genocide has happened with Ukrainians killing Russians. And that's why a lot of people in Ukraine want Russia to take over certain cities. Crimea was one of them. Donbass is one of them. People do not know history of Ukraine and Russia. And when this propaganda keeps going on, people just follow it. Like they do not know anything better. Most of the American people do not even know where Poland is. You ask anybody where Poland is, they don't know. Go ahead.
So you're saying that the Russian, who's the Russian premier?
Putin.
So you're saying Putin's a good guy?
I'm not.
He's liberating his country. Yeah, you are. You are. What you're saying is it's a civil war. Hold on one second. I want to make sure I understand you right.
Sure.
You're saying it's a civil war, which means that, I don't know what it means, since they're clearly different countries. Ukraine is one country, and...
well, that's not what Putin thinks.
But, Steve, that's the understanding. You have to see the history of Ukraine.
Steve, I think what the caller's saying is he's opposed to the Russian attack, but this is for them and the Ukrainians to decide. And the Ukrainians seem to be doing pretty good. They've held out for over a month now.
Considering they're not getting the weapons that they were promised, I think they're doing very well. But it's going to come to a halt.
Let me just finish my thought. You know, a lot of people, they just apologize about this. This war will never end like Palestine will never end. Because when Russia is there on the border, They think this city belongs to us. That's why I bought in Kashmir, because I am from India. And India and Pakistan going to fight that disputed region for years. I do not think, I'm not an expert, but I do not think Putin is stupid. He wants to take over Ukraine. But I know this for a fact. Why is America involved? Because they have a lot to lose, especially all the liberals and the rhinos. They have big interest. If Putin takes over certain parts of Russia, it is given that their business is going to collapse. And you have to understand that part. Do not just be so naive to think this is all Putin. Putin is not a good guy. We do not know. But he ain't that stupid. And one more thing, Boris Johnson is walking, what Brian just said, they are having a normal life, and people do not know that just because they do not show that.
It's a normal life in Ukraine?
Yeah, Fox has a reporter in that, which is the caller, what is the Ukrainian city in the north, on the Polish border, I forgot the name of that city, but Fox News, is that, no, that's the region out, no, not Kyiv, Lviv, okay, in Lviv. Fox News has a reporter in Lviv, and he reports from the streets of Lviv, and I see guys and girls walking around with Starbucks cups in the background of this guy. You know which one I'm talking about?
And hold on, and what about the guy that had his leg blown off?
The Fox News reporter? Well, he was, yeah, well.
I mean, nobody bothered to tell him it wasn't dangerous.
Who?
The Fox reporter that got wounded.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? He was the person who got wounded, you have to understand, he goes in where, he was not in downtown. He goes exactly where the war is.
Yeah.
Is on the corner of
He wasn't at the Lviv Starbucks where the Ukrainians are hanging out. Or with Pavlo, or Pavlo.
Hold on. So you think the United States ought to pull out all of its commitments to over there to
Ukraine?
Thank you.
Yes!
Ukraine.
This is not our war. Why are we wasting our money? This is so... Why aren't we in Nigeria?
Of course, there are things that are more important. Of course, there are things that are more important than money. And this country means more than money.
That is why today we are in so much of debt. Look at Haiti. Nobody cares about Haiti. How many thousands of people die every day? And don't even...
All right, we're going...
Well, I don't know. The places, these other massacres are countries filled with like black people, and these are both white people. You think that might have something to do with it? Well, not. Apparently, Fox News doesn't care about the. If this were two African countries, we wouldn't even hear about it.
No, because there's no money to be made.
Yes.
Over there. That's all.
Okay.
All right. Hey, listen, caller, we got to run for a break. Yeah, great callers today, by the way. I'm glad I turned the phones on. I wish I'd have turned the phones on 10 minutes later so we didn't have Richie's call, which has hijacked the whole direction of the show, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, Richie changed the whole direction of the show when he got called in, but that's okay.
Probably our best caller.
Oh, my goodness. Our best caller?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we got a break. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here. 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll be right back after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Journey wonderful with Celebrity Cruises. Their breathtaking ships have made them the best premium cruise line 10 years in a row. Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig January 28th, 2023 for the 4th annual Steve Kane Cruise on board the Celebrity Apex for 7 nights to the Eastern Caribbean. We're leaving out of Fort Lauderdale with ports of call San Juan, Puerto Rico, Tortola, and St. Kitts. Included with your cruise is the classic beverage package, Wi-Fi, and tips. For more information and to book your cruise with Steve Kane and Brian Craig, call in at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now...
Alrighty, welcome back. Hour number 3 has begun, 3 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian, it's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. I have some audio I wanted to get to, Steve. You want to... Okay. This first one... Our education system has been taken over by activist school teachers. People that have, used to be, people used to go into teaching school so they had every holiday and the summer off. Nothing wrong with that. Now they're going into it to just promote the left-wing agenda. And a lot of them, what they like to do are make videos in their classrooms and then put them up on TikTok for the world to see. And this is a gay teacher. They've made this video from their classroom. And you'll like this, Steve. They're talking about the Ron DeSantis-supported parental rights bill known as the you can't say gay bill, okay? This is a gay teacher in their classroom talking about Ron DeSantis and the Florida bill.
Hi, I'm a queer teacher, and I 1000% do not support this bill. And yes, I do know what's in it. The bill in itself is just another way to stigmatize the LGBTQ plus community. Kids as young as 3 and 4 are actually aware of their gender identity, even if they don't have the language for it. Also very aware of who they like and who they don't like. Heterosexuality is pushed on our kids on a daily basis at a very young age.
Heterosexuality is pushed on kids at a very early age, he says.
Yeah, through books. The first Disney movie that you saw. To say that pre-K through 3rd grade are not ready for such topics is actually internalized homophobia and transphobia. We're very much ready for these topics and are way more accepting than adults when it comes to discussing these topics. We talk about gender assumptions, pronouns, all the things. And it is child development appropriate and age appropriate. It's literally created as just another means to other queer people. Basically say that us existing is not normal.
Okay, so there you got a school teacher in the classroom wants to talk to 5-year-old kids about... Like,
they allow this guy with kids.
well, you know what's crazy is that this guy's not alone. He's a large percentage of school teachers these days, and they feel so comfortable with it, they make these videos from their classrooms and put them online without any worries. It's a pretty crazy thing that's going on.
That's good news.
It's good news that they're doing it online so that we know about them. But oh man! But there's a fake story. Yeah.
The thing where he says damn.
I don't know. I can't play it again. Well,
He knows firsthand that these kids are interested in this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a great question to ask him. There's a social network called LinkedIn, and I got a notification over the weekend that I needed to update my LinkedIn profile. You guys, Steve doesn't know, but you guys know LinkedIn. And I updated LinkedIn, which I had not been on in a few years. So I updated it, and it asked me what my preferred pronouns were. Because they've updated the whole profile for all the 87 genders we currently have in our society. It's very weird. Now, two things, though. I got one more clip I'll play in a minute. But Fox News is involved in a major misinformation campaign. They're trying to divide MAGA here with Ron DeSantis, okay? Ron DeSantis is, and there's a story about this on Fox. This is true, and this is good. Ron DeSantis has raised like $100 million or something in his re-election campaign for governor of Florida, which may be a record, certainly for a Florida governor. I mean, he is so popular. People in Florida just love Ron DeSantis. And we have him because of President Trump, by the way. But what they're doing on Fox News and other mainstream corporate media, they're pushing Ron DeSantis to be the nominee in 2024, and they're creating this impression that he's running. Ron DeSantis has said many, many times he will not run against President Trump. He is not running in 2024 because Trump is running, but they're still promoting this idea. And they're trying to cause MAGA division by trying to create these two different factions, right? The Trump wing and the DeSantis ring. Yeah, and Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump are a team. And if you've ever seen the two of them together, and I have, you can see it. I mean, these guys are tight as guys can be and be straight. I mean, they love each other. And Ron DeSantis continues to say he will never run against Donald Trump, even though Fox News and the mainstream media are trying to push that narrative. And then there's a lot of these Lincoln Project types that are all over the place saying things like, well, Florida doesn't, we don't want to lose Ron DeSantis, but if we do. In Florida, the governor is term limited to 2 terms. When he is reelected, this will be his last term as governor. He's going to leave us eventually anyway. He very well may be Trump's vice presidential running mate. It could be Kristi Noem if she does a good job as governor out there. I think Sarah Palin's on the list of possibilities. That's why she's running for Congress. But don't believe any of this fake news crap that Ron DeSantis is running against Donald Trump in 2024. I've heard him say many times he will never run against President Trump. So, did you see Chris Christie over the weekend, Steve? Chris Christie, he had that stomach surgery where they put the band around the stomach. I think he broke the band because he's bigger than ever, and he was on the Sunday shows. Now, President Trump, in the last 4 weeks in a row, has had rallies, completely full houses. Okay, I was at the first one 4 weeks ago. This week, there was not an empty seat in the House when President Trump was out there. And every rally he's had, the size of the crowd is only limited by the fire code capacity of the venue. Full houses in all of these things. And I watched all day long his rally over the weekend. I saw Mike Lindell and all the rest speak. Bad weather, thousands of people there. This is Chris Christie's analysis of Trump.
You've got the Republican Governors Association, which for the first time in my memory is getting involved in primaries against Donald Trump. In Georgia, in Idaho, in Alabama, in Ohio. And I'm telling you, right this morning, I'll put myself on the line, the Republican incumbent governor is going to win all 4 of those primaries. Mike DeWine in Ohio, Brad Little in Idaho, Brian Kemp in Georgia, Kay Ivey in Alabama. He's going to win all of them. And I think that you're going to see Pat McCrory win that Senate primary in North Carolina.
So what does it mean? What does that mean?
What it means is that his grip on the party is diminishing. And it's not just when he's on the ballot, because remember back in 2018, he made a lot of endorsements in 2018 where a lot of upsets occurred because of endorsement, one of the biggest ones being Ron DeSantis in Florida.
He made Ron DeSantis.
Well, look, I mean, that's what he'd say. I'm sure the Governor DeSantis would feel differently.
Okay, now, I will tell you this. Chris Christie's a lot. He's as honest as he is thin. Okay, maybe I'll say it that way. He's just a damn liar. Ron DeSantis. I have heard Ron DeSantis say many times that he became governor. He was made governor by the endorsement from Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis was a member of the House of Representatives. He was behind the other Republican by double digits. His opponent, whose name I can't even remember, in the Republican primary for governor of Florida, was leading Ron DeSantis by double digits until Trump had a rally for him. And then Ron DeSantis overnight was in the lead by double digits, and he's the most popular governor in the history of American governors. You know, so this idea that that Chris Christie is promoting, that Trump has had a lot of losses, almost every single, you can't have 100%, but Trump has one of the highest percentage rates of endorsed wins of any president ever. So I don't know what Chris Christie's talking about here, other than he hates Trump. You know, maybe Chris wants to go hug Obama again. Maybe he was upset he wasn't invited to the White House.
He's frustrated, Christie. Look,
Why?
For a politician that's, you know, made it a lifelong goal to advance in politics, and he gets born right or he gets...
Yeah, it's close.
Has to run against Trump.
Yeah.
Frustrated and angry because their personal ambitions are going down the drain because they're back on the wrong horse here.
Well, he shouldn't have hugged Obama. Chris Christie did himself in when he hugged Obama on the beach, like it was like Bo Derek in 10 with Dudley Moore, you know?
In that beach chair like a beach...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now he looks like a whale in a TV studio. But, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I know. I thought when I saw him on the beach, I thought some Greenpeace people were going to try to roll him back in the sea to save him. But you know, you watch these rallies. Each Trump rally is historic. A sitting president can't turn out people like this every week, right? And a past president with one term could never do this except Trump. The Trump movement is stronger than, you know, that caller from Delaware that said she used to be a Democrat, and now she's a Trump person. No, not Andrea. She used to be a Democrat too, but the caller before her in the last hour from Delaware, she became a MAGA Republican a year ago after Trump had left office. The Trump movement, the MAGA movement, is growing, and it's stronger than ever, and it's going to continue to grow. So all this analysis watching the mainstream media is dangerous. It will pollute your brain. It really will, and that goes for a lot of Fox News channel, I must say, Steve. I'm sorry to tell you. But, you know, they know that those of us that love Trump love Ron DeSantis. So this move, this division they keep going back to, keep trying to get us involved with, don't let them think that Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump are anything other than completely united for the same agenda. Now, before President Trump, I watched the rally all day long. Over the weekend on Saturday, Mike Lindell came out and spoke and gave just a great speech, and he talked about the history of his company. Do you know, I did not know this, do you know that he did his first television infomercial just 11 years ago, Mike Lindell? The company's, all the success he's had has really just been in the last 10 years. I did not know that. I thought he'd been around a lot. It seems like he's been around a lot longer, but this great success of Mike Lindell has only been the last just over 10 years. It's absolutely amazing. I did not know that. And, you know, he was talking at the rally. I saw him interview too about the, you know, he has 3 defamation lawsuits against him now for supporting Trump and supporting MAGA. About $3 billion with a B defamation lawsuits against him. He did an appearance last week at a speaking engagement. A process server came in and served him papers for another defamation lawsuit. I mean, they just won't leave this guy alone. And, you know, Mother's Day is coming up, and this is the time to shop for Mom on her day. And let me tell you something. You go to MyPillow.com. There are great deals, great specials there with our promo code Kane. And, you know, you're supporting not just the Steve Kane Show when you use our promo code Kane at MyPillow.com. You are supporting Mike Lindell and all of his efforts. And these gifts are just great for Mom on her day. The MyPillow bathrobe is just spectacular. My wife and I have the MyPillow bathrobes 30% off with the promo code Kane at checkout at MyPillow.com. The MyPillow My Slippers 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials. The MyPillow itself, as low as $19.98 with the promo code Kane. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which will change your life. 30% off, and you get 2 free MyPillows with the 3-inch mattress topper with the promo code Kane. The 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 50% off. The MyPillow body pillow, normally $117.97. With the promo code Kane at checkout, just $39.99. And the MyPillow body pillow is a MyPillow, the full length of the body that you can snuggle up with. You have one of these, Steve. The MyPillow body pillow. There's a new item, the MyPillow quilt for the bed. Mom would love that. 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow down comforter. This is also a new item. 50% off the down comforter with the promo code Kane. The MyPillow weighted blanket, which is spectacular. I've had a weighted blanket. Steve has had one, and what the MyPillow weighted blanket does, it's comfortable, it's soft, you sleep well and snug, and it stops you from tossing and turning at night, so you get a well-rested sleep. The MyPillow weighted blanket, 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow towel set, 60% off with the promo code Kane. As low as, the sheets, the MyPillow Giza Cotton Dream Sheets are 60% off, as low as $39.99. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, normally $109.99, just $39.99 with the promo code Kane. And there are many other specials there too. Great for mom on her day. Mother's Day is coming up. Promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane.
You suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching? Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you have no feeling at all. The symptoms can make life unbearable, but there is help at the Lighthouse Medical Center. Call 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation and say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, 19 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, The Steve Kane Show. Now, any gas pump I've gone to for the past few weeks, if it doesn't say F. Joe Biden on it, written in permanent marker, there's a sticker of, it's on almost every gas pump. If that's not there, there's a sticker of Joe Biden pointing, saying, I did that to the gas price. And I know you guys have seen these, and it is illegal to deface gas pumps. And gas pumps are actually regulated by the state, and it's a crime. And a man in Pennsylvania, 54-year-old man in Pennsylvania, was arrested after putting a I did that Biden sticker onto gas pumps in protest of high gas prices. His name is Thomas. He was charged with resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, harassment, and criminal mischief. There's not a gas pump that I've been to in about 3 weeks that has not been defaced either with the F. Joe Biden or the sticker. Sometimes they have both on them. Sometimes you'll see the stickers are hard to peel off. The gas station attendants spend their days peeling them off, and you can see where the sticker was. I would not do that. I don't recommend doing that. I don't do graffiti or deface things. But I promise you this guy was arrested by a Democrat. I mean, my goodness. I mean, you know, do you think the police have better things to do than arrest people putting stickers on gas pumps? Well, I guess not in Pennsylvania. You know, I guess. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now, I found something out over the weekend that was pretty shocking. Okay, now some people have heard in the news that Bill Clinton rape victim Juanita Broderick was banned from Twitter over the weekend. Some of you have heard this, Juanita Broderick. Banned from Twitter. Here's a woman who was raped by Bill Clinton twice. He raped her twice. Banned from the Twitter. Donald Trump's banned from Twitter. I found out over the weekend, Steve, this blew my mind. John Hinckley is on Twitter. He's on Twitter. John Hinckley, and for the you snowflakes out there, John Hinckley shot President Reagan in 1981, shot James Brady, shot another Secret Service man, and shot a police officer. So he shot at least 4 people, including President Reagan in 1981. He's now a free man, which he should not be. He's on Twitter, and John Hinckley, you know, I mean, all this talk about bringing Trump back to Twitter, Bill Clinton rape victim Juanita Broderick banned from Twitter. How the hell can John Hinckley, who shot 4 people, including the President of the United States, be on Twitter and Donald Trump be banned? It just doesn't make sense, does it, Steve? Oh, my goodness. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up.
I don't want to take you over. I don't know. Do we have?
There's no subject right now. I'm just free associating with some topics I hadn't gotten to yet.
I'd like you to explain to me. I don't have the full picture on what's going on with the.
Oh, with Elon Musk. Well, these people, they're so stupid. Okay, so Elon Musk owns more Twitter stock than any other individual, like 9.5% or 9.6% of the stock he owns, right? And
finished buying it.
Well, okay, so over the weekend, they wanted him on the board of directors, and he turned it down. And a lot of leftists are celebrating that he's not going to be on the board of directors. Well, I had heard last week, I was talking about this on the show Friday, that if you're they have a rule, a corporate rule at Twitter. If you're on the board of directors, you can own no more than 14% of the stock. So I think Elon Musk has turned down the board position so he can buy more stock and take over the whole company. That's what's going on here. He's not just going to be the majority owner. Turn it into what it should be, where people can speak freely. You know, if you speak out on Twitter against the liberal, I mean, think about it. Twitter is a place that has banned President Trump, but John Hinckley is on there. The Ayatollah Khomeini is on there. Putin, who's invaded Ukraine, is on there. But you know, if John Wilkes Booth was alive, he'd be on Twitter, and they wouldn't ban him either. You know, I mean, this is outrageous. So he's going to bring back, you know, Twitter. I know no one likes Twitter. You know, Twitter is where the news narrative is driven in our society today. Even things you see on Fox and CNN are driven by what is on the Twitter. And Twitter is controlled by leftists who silence disagreement. And anybody who disagrees with them is always on pins and needles over there.
Let's just act it out and see how it plays out. So let's just say that's what Musk in mind. Let's say he buys up to, after this move, he buys up to the maximum amount of stock he's allowed to have, which is 14%.
No. It's 14% if you're on the board. He's turned down the board seat, so he's unlimited in how much he can buy. He can buy all of it. He can buy all of it if he has enough money. What it used to be, a place where there was free speech. Well, you know, Donald Trump, I knew when Donald Trump, I don't remember if he said this during the first campaign or after he was elected. You know, I've got a talking Trump figurine at home, and it has like a bunch of Trump quote. You push the button and you hear Trump speak, and it looks like it's pretty cool. And one of the things Trump said, and if you know when this was, let me know, was he president yet or during the campaign? He says he loves Twitter. It's like having your own television network without the losses. And after he was elected, he said, without Twitter and Facebook, I would not have won. And I saw Van Jones was doing analysis once on CNN about Trump and social media. And he said, and this is Van Jones talking, this was on CNN. He was talking with David Axelrod. He said Trump understands social media and Twitter like no other candidate ever has. He says he understands how to leverage social media as a presidential candidate, just like John F. Kennedy understood television before anybody else did. Okay? And both in television, that Nixon-Kennedy debate, and, is a defining moment. And as soon as I heard Trump say, I would not be president if it wasn't Twitter or Facebook, I knew there at some point they were going to ban him from it. Now, I thought they would wait until after he was out of office. I never thought they could actually ban the sitting president of the United States from it, which they did. But Elon and Twitter, after the ban of President Trump, conservatives, there was a mass exodus of conservatives from Twitter. Many of them were banned by Twitter, and a lot of people in protest closed their accounts and are no longer on Twitter. Okay? I mean, I lost thousands in about 2 days. I lost thousands of followers on Twitter, both through cancellation by Twitter, people just being, or people saying, no more of this, I'm out of here. And I told people at the time, don't close your accounts. It's like burning a valuable mailing list. It's how conservatives network. Yeah, it's how conservatives network. You don't want to do that. It's too late now. But what will happen is Elon Musk is going to take over, and he's going to put Trump back on Twitter. And once he puts Trump back on Twitter, the doors are going to be open for people that have been banned and left to get back up there. And the conservative MAGA movement has lost a lot of our juice because we're not en masse on Twitter like we were with President Trump before.
Trump, a lot of...
Well, his new thing, I don't think Trump will use Twitter. I think if Elon Musk reinstates Trump to Twitter, I don't think Trump will use it. I think because he's got his own thing now, True Social. But President Trump, I'm on True Social too. Okay? Real Brian Craig on True Social, people, if you want to follow me there. Trump's social media network, he has only put one post on there on the first day, on President's Day, and he's not put another post up there. That's like, what, February, March, April? That's like 2 months since he's posted on his own network. I don't know what's going on with that. But I don't know. But getting Trump, Elon Musk taking over Twitter will be a big, big nail in the coffin of the liberal narrative. It really will. Yeah. I would not be surprised if Elon Musk has communicated with Trump about this, because they are friends. Through the SpaceX and all that stuff. So I don't know, but I think President Trump wants to be back on Twitter. I really do. I think if he gets back on Twitter, he will use it. He'll use his Truth Social too, but I think he'll use his Twitter as well. There's too many people to reach through it. I mean, he was reaching. President Trump on Twitter with one tweet would reach more individuals than all the nightly news and the cable news combined. He had that many people following him on Twitter. And once he said, I wouldn't have gotten elected without it, they made the decision then to ban it. They were just looking for an excuse, And I think Elon Musk will take over and put him back on it. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Attention seniors, protect yourself and your loved ones from losing your hard-earned assets to the government, attorneys, and greedy in-laws. You are invited to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's Living Trust Seminar. It's free and will be held Tuesday, April 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the South County Civic Center in Delray Beach. All living trust plans are not created equally. Find out why at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust Seminar. To make your reservation for this free Living Trust Seminar, call the Siegel Law Group right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Seating will be limited, so call now to reserve your seat. 1-855-352-3782. 1-855-352-3782. Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not...
No, Richie destroyed the whole show today, bringing up Ukraine. I knew, sometimes, I knew... There's some topics that can get a lot of calls, but will destroy a show. And I think the Ukraine, as soon as Richie called in with Ukraine, I was like, he screwed us, Richie.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Alrighty, 33 minutes after the hour, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. You know, these court cases, did you see the Trump rally Saturday night? Okay, these court cases are amazing that happened this last week, and Trump talked about all of them. The Whitmer kidnapping one, this is amazing. So there were 4 guys on trial for the Governor Whitmer kidnapping plot. 2 they had hung juries. The jury could not reach a verdict. The other 2 were acquitted. And the ones who were completely acquitted in the Whitmer kidnapping case, their defense was there was an FBI entrapment, that the federal authority, and the jury believed them. So the jury believed that the government hatched the plot and entrapped these guys. And, you know, that Whitmer plot that Biden blamed Biden for back when it happened during the campaign was a tactic used to taint MAGA. Look at what MAGA did. They tried to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Now the jury says no, it was a plot hatched by the government, and they entrapped these guys. That's huge. And the guy, Steve, the January 6th defendant who was acquitted, we talked about this one earlier in the week because the Whitmer thing happened after we were off the air. This January 6th defendant was acquitted on all charges, and the court believed his defense, which was the Capitol Police let me in. So you've got 5 cases, 5 guys on federal being tried in the federal court system. 3 of the 5, it was the government that did it.
Do you obviously perceive a relationship between the Whitmer case and
the Capitol breach? Yeah, it's the same thing. The same people behind them both. The federal government. What's the new one? What's the new one?
The new one.
Oh, the Proud Boys. Oh, the Iranians. The Iranians, I don't know about that one. That's different. I don't know who. I don't know how that happened or what that's about. I don't know too much about the Iranian guys that infiltrated the Secret Service. I don't know much about that. But I do know that we had these two high-profile incidents: the January 6th Capitol breach, guy on trial, court ruled, the government did it. We had the Governor Whitmer kidnapping trial. The jury said the government did it. And those plots are related, right? The Whitmer and the January 6th. That's why over the weekend, Liz Cheney was on the Sunday shows this weekend saying, well, we have evidence that President Trump was involved in an insurrection. Well, the courts, these guys are coming to court and they're being acquitted, okay? Saying that they were set up by the government. So that's it. So Liz Cheney was like doing damage control on the Sunday shows over the weekend about that. I just thought they were phenomenal. Well, Mitch McConnell loves her. He donated to her re-election campaign this week. So, you know.
No fan of Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, but those cases are huge. They're huge. And I thought Trump's rally was a phenomenal rally. I thought his speech was... I'm glad I like the shorter rallies better. I think the shorter speeches are better than the longer ones because he's more focused on... Almost everything he talked about on Saturday night were things that were in the news this week. You know? And
he knows what he's doing, no question.
Yeah, the only thing I wonder is when did Governor Whitmer know about this plot? You know what I mean? And I'm not the only one asking this. People are like, well, when did she know? What's her role in this plot? You know, this is really that Whitmer kidnapping verdicts when they came out on Friday. I was shocked at the verdict. This is something we've heard, but for the jury to say that it was a government plot, not a MAGA plot, is huge, and that's why the news aren't focusing on it because it does not fit the mainstream media narrative, which is that MAGA should be outlawed and is a domestic terror group. That's what they're trying to sell, and it's just it's not flying. And in these cases, or the way they're being handled in the courts, is phenomenal. And it doesn't surprise me that they're not spending much time covering them, though. Because they don't fit their narrative. They don't want people to know. To know about this guy that was acquitted in the January 6th, you would have to be a hardcore follower of news. If you're a casual news watcher, you would not know about that one at all. All right. Our number is toll-free 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Now, today's a big day. Today, the new management takes over at CNN. Today. It's like they're already in charge now, right? And remember, they said they want to get CNN back to the news business. So today is the first day of the end of CNN as we know it. All right, let's go to the phones. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jerry from Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Jerry.
Hey.
You called us. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm not sure. Just let me alone. Being a monster. My friend and I went to Wings Plus, you know, and he works in Deerfield, so on the way down, he doesn't always. I just see him once a week or once in a while. But he goes to Wings Plus to eat almost every day.
Well, he's a smart guy. That means he eats delicious food every day.
He's the owner, like.
Brian from Wings Plus, yeah, he's awesome.
He goes, the food is just incredible.
It sure is. It sure is. By the way, Wings Plus on Sample Road, the food is incredible. Everything homemade, right on the spot, including the sauces for the wings are made right there on the spot. And Wings Plus is located about a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. All right, is that all you have for us today, Jerry?
No, I want to go on Steve's side and Richie's side. Sorry, guy.
That's okay.
You know.
What side is that? What side are you on?
Whatever they've been talking about the last. I missed.
You're on their side, but you don't know what. You're just okay.
We have to say crap, but.
All right. He's on your side, Steve, but he can't remember what it is. All right. Was that Joe Biden just called? Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Joel. I'm from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Joellen.
Hey, so are you telling me that you're just finding out about this plot with the FBI and
No.
You're just talking about?
Oh my gosh, Joellen. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. It sounds.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Then this is something This is what burns me. Yeah, but there's a difference here. Oh my gosh, Joellen. There's a difference when the four MAGA guys, all right, arrested in the Whitmer plot, go to court, and the jury comes back and says that this was entrapment by the federal government, that the federal government hatched the plot. It's different than you and I talking about it. You understand what I mean? It's a big difference here. So that's huge news. And one thing that conservatives do, like you, that piss me off, is you act like, oh, it's no big deal. We knew about this a year ago. We've got the court ruling where the guys are acquitted and said they were entrapped by the FBI and the Governor Whitmer plot. That's huge news. I didn't think, I was shocked about how the verdict came down.
Was that a Trump-appointed judge or?
Well, the judge, no. This was a jury. A jury came back in the Whitmer case.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they do that with the January 6th people.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just say, there's something. There must be something we can do to help these guys with the January 6th. There's got to be something we.
Well, yeah, elect Trump. They're all. You know what? I'll tell you what, because I heard listening to Trump at the at the rally, that this is what you can do to help all the January 6th prisoners. All right, vote for Trump in 2024. Trump is going to pardon them. He's going to pardon them just like Carter pardoned the draft dodgers. I can tell. It's on his mind. I don't expect him to say it yet. But I think he plans on pardoning all the January 6 people. All of them. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My real name is Paul.
Sober and not high like you. No, because I'm talking to you. I mean, where's the part where the laughter? I'm missing the humor. All right, no, please. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm from Boca Raton. How you doing?
All right, Boca, what's up?
I agree with you, Brian. I think that the narrative is pushing the, Zelensky good, Putin bad, whereas I think we don't belong there. I definitely think there's a war happening. I think people are getting killed. It's not a good situation, but with you on this one.
As opposed to Jerry, who's on Steve's side, but he can't remember what he's on his side about. That was great, Jerry. Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, we're all opposed to innocents being killed in Ukraine and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We just don't think that we should be militarily involved. And
Let's stop this guy in your scenario.
He's not going to go further than Ukraine. He's not Hitler. He hasn't done it yet, has he? He hasn't.
Conspiracy theorist, but there's a lot more going on that you and I, us common folk don't see. There's biolabs. Give you a theory. I actually watched the Oliver Stone movie. I don't know if you heard about it.
I did see that. Yeah.
Perspective, and it kind of frames things in a better situation. Steve, if you haven't seen it, you should.
To see it. Is it a new film?
Well, it's online. You have to,
It shows how, I don't know how to say it, but it basically shows that there is no innocent people. The Ukrainian is known for.
Well, it doesn't mean that it was okay for Putin to attack and invade. He was wrong to do that, and he was also wrong to take Crimea. But yeah. Hey, listen, we got to run. We got to run for the gold report. But listen, I appreciate the call. I'm just cutting you short because we're up against a break. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back with William Youngerman with the gold report for the first look at the metals for the week. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631.
Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Brian Craig here. It's been a year since I started sleeping on my MyPillow mattress topper, and it's changed my life. I sleep the night through every night. Don't just take my word for it. Here are some people who are sleeping on their MyPillow mattress topper too, sharing their experience.
With the MyPillow topper, I'm just finding that I don't build up
Hey there.
any heat. I'm warm and I'm comfortable, but I'm not too clean and I'm not too cold, I'm not too hot. It just kind of keeps me right where I need to be.
I think Trump might use it once at least to tell people to follow him on True Social. But Trump being back on Twitter is symbolic. I mean, John Hinckley's on Twitter. I mean, how can John Hinckley be on Twitter and President Trump not be? Steve Kane Show. Yeah, hold on.
Stop the cancel culture against Mike Lindell and MyPillow and get the best night's sleep you have ever gotten in your life. And order your 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout. KANE. 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, KANE, at MyPillow.com. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
All right, and on the line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca, we have William Youngerman for the first look at the metals for the week. William Youngerman, good morning. How the metals looking this morning?
This morning, Brian, after Friday's close, gold up $15.50, closing out last week at $1,946.70 the ounce. Silver was up 19 cents, closing out the week at $24.76, while platinum was up $16 at $977, and palladium gained $197 on Friday at $2,353 the ounce.
Steve Kane Show.
The rally continues this morning, taking out resistance area on gold
hold on.
of $19.
Steve Kane Show.
$1950. Right now we're at $19.
Steve Kane Show.
Hold on. That's up a full $20 right now.
Wow.
48 cents, taking out the $25 resistance area that we've been seeing, and that's at $25.25 the ounce. Platinum up $8 at $985, and palladium up $72 at $24.25. Oil down $4.50 a barrel right now, $93.70, and the dollar still very strong. Those things being taken in consideration for gold to rally against those kind of markets is indicative of a very strong precious metals market.
You know, I want to ask you, William Youngman, when it comes to diversification, what percentage of gold versus silver should people have, would you recommend?
And timing-wise, that's important. And right now, the ratios between silver and gold are pretty out of whack. So silver's pretty cheap in relationship to gold. One of the things sort of governing that decision also for many people is just plain storage and the weight of it. So that becomes a factor. But we do like to see at least a 20% factor of silver at these levels right now, and then 80% gold, or 20% silver, 20% platinum, and the remainder in gold.
Yeah, gold is always the gold standard, but it's good. All right, now listen, William Youngerman opens up weekdays at 10 a.m., located right here in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building. just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can find them online at williamyoungerman.com and give them a call, toll free, 800-327-5010. 800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, take care, take care. Okay, we got time for some more calls, Steve. You want to take some calls? All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Bruce Mackey from Mississippi.
Mississippi, what's up?
I just want to say that I think Steve's a little bit gung-ho on the Ukraine thing. I don't think either country's leaders are in the right. I feel sorry for the people, but I think we have no business over there, and you're correct.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think people's perception of what's going on depends on where you get your news from. I mean, I told Richie, Steve, earlier that when I'm watching the news, if Ukraine comes on, I'm out. I'm changing the dial. I'm really not interested.
Because you're in denial and you don't want to hear the truth.
No.
Anything we send Ukraine right now is going to be Russia for 2 weeks anyway.
I think what I'm getting, the reason I turned the station is not so much that I'm not interested. I believe I'm being sold something. This is like Remember the Maine crap going on. Especially, yeah.
That's your paranoia.
Maybe.
Look who Spy Schwab is on.
When who is on? Charles Schwab. Okay. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, Mississippi. We've got a bad connection with you, but call again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Augustino.
Hey, Augustine. Why'd you say it 3 times?
Yeah, just one on it. Hey, I gotta ask you. Hey, Steve. Great.
Steve Kane Show.
Oh. Hey, Augie. Good to hear your voice.
Something from Mike Lindell.
Steve Kane Show.
And
Hold on.
Jews.
What did you say? What did you say? Jews? Did he say Jews? What?
Shoes.
Oh, shoes. Oh, I thought he said Jews. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought he said Jews. Oh, okay. Well, if you go to you can either order by phone or on the internet. Which is easier for you, Augustino? On the phone. Well, I'm going to give you this number, and right now it is 50% off the MyPillow My Slippers when you use the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Do you have something to write with? Yeah, I'm not worried about writing. Okay, well, let me you can write it on your cast, okay? Here's the number. 1-800, you ready? Yeah, who said I had a cast? I'm just making conversation, okay? It's not important. I was just saying, hey, if you need something to write it on, you said you got a broken leg, you must have something on it. Okay, 1-800-716-4879. And it's 50% off the MyPillow My Slippers with the promo code Kane. Read the number back to me.
But which one?
See? The tan moccasin slippers are the ones that I have. The tan moccasin slippers, yes. Oh, the slip-on. Steve has the slip-ons. Yeah. So you can get one of each. You can get one. Yeah. Okay. Well, read the. I want to see if you wrote the number down. Read the number back to me. Oh, he didn't write it down. Oh my goodness. 1-800-7. All right, he's hanging up now. He didn't write the number down, but hey, 1-800-716-4879. Why do you think I asked him? These callers. Was the show better when this morning I forgot to turn the phones on. I did the first hour of the show with the phones off. Was the show better then than now? I don't know. I don't know. Good morning. You're on the air. Hey, Sherry. What's up?
Hey, what's going on with all these Democrats?
Steve Kane Show.
What's that scam they run?
Oh, I know.
Everybody gets Pelosi, now Shifty Schiff. What's the next guy?
The mayor of New York. Yeah, the mayor of New York. Why are they getting it? I don't know. What do you think it is?
We know that.
Oh, you don't think they have it? You think? Oh, you don't think they have it? You think that they're trying to make a? You think they're trying to make people concerned?
Personal plague.
Well, you know, Nancy Pelosi, it was at that gridiron dinner, and I know Nancy Pelosi flew in on her broom to that. I'm sure she has a spell, a potion, that she could cast to rid them all of it, right, on a dime, just like that. 100 times? No, we don't know that. You know, this is the thing, which I don't have time to tell you. I have to tell you tomorrow, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. On the line, we have Anita from AJ's Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace, where you and I are both going to be, Steve, Saturday from 11 a.m. till 12. Hey, Anita, good morning.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Well, this is exciting. Steve and I are doing our first personal appearance since before COVID at your shop at the Festival Marketplace, Saturday from 11 a.m. till noon. We have not done any appearances anywhere since before COVID, so this is a big one.
And we feel very honored there that we're going to have you there at AJ's. We can't wait to see you, and I know a lot of the listeners are going to come and meet you guys on Saturday, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, now AJ's, come out and meet us, because it's been about, this is the first appearance we've done, Steve, actually, like in 3 years. We did not do one for quite some time, even before COVID. So this is our first appearance since our last cruise. Believe it or not. So we don't do many of these. So this is a rare opportunity to meet Steve Kane and me, and of course Janet Cimarelli and Anita at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. And AJ's, the festival is easy to find, just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. And once inside, head back to the food court. And AJ's is right in front of the information booth, just west of the food court. Now, for people that come and meet us 11 a.m. till noon on Saturday, Anita, what are some specials, some deals that they can get on your products while they're there?
We're going to have the most amazing deal ever. The entire store, 50% off.
Oh, that's awesome. The entire store, 50% off, yes.
You name it. Everything there at already low prices plus an extra 50% off for a super flash sale for your visit on Saturday.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And when you guys, so we're going to be there at AJ's from 11 a.m. till noon. And don't be late, because I got somewhere to be. So I'll be leaving right at noon. I'll be leaving right at noon. And again, this is really our first appearance in about 3 years that Steve and I have done. We've not done one in a long time. And we look forward to seeing you all there, 11 a.m. till 12 at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. Anita will be there. Janet Cimarelli will be there. And 50% off their already low, low prices at AJ's. Well, Anita, I'll see you on Saturday. Yeah.
The phones have not been working at the festival. The front desk phone, our phone. So if you call, you're not going to get through likely.
Yeah, you can't call for directions. You can call me for directions. That's about it. All right, Anita, we're out of time, but we'll see you Saturday, okay? Steve, we don't even have time for you to do a sign-off, so I'm just going to sign it. I'm going to sign us off. Is that okay? We gotta get out of here. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. See you then.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, thanks for watching, everyone. And I'm glad I got... I wish I would have kept the phones on just a little longer. Richie screwed us with that Ukraine thing, but oh well. Oh, boy. All right, guys, I got to run. Make sure if you're new, you're subscribed. Everyone else, please like the video before you go.